begin the master. Give me a walk with Peter. If some sinners coming, with them I go be dealing. Because the things that they do me, I want to fix them personally. Peter wait, Peter wait. Peter looks at the roads by the gate. Peter look the Englishman, we send such a roads to Africa land. Peter take trip, take rally, but leave Victoria for me. Peter I just don't care what you say, but Mussolini he can't get away. Why? From these madman and woman, I feel the full weight of the hand. They made the oppressed law, they never care about the poor. Peter, these people had a day. Well, now it's time for Stalin to play. Peter, wait, I said Peter, wait. Peter, look, Ian Smith by the gate. Peter, I don't want you to make fuss. Remember, I want Christopher Columbus. Peter, look, the Englishwoman who on South Africa refused to put sanctions. Peter, I just don't care what you do, but Reagan going in the fire too. Why? Blazing, blazing, blazing. Burning and burning and burning and burning. Take me now. Me. Your hand done full already. You don't deal with the Führer. Go ahead and take Foster. But that woman Mary, remember that's my baby. So much confusion that she make. You got to give Black Stalin a break. Peter wait, I say Peter wait. Peter look both are reached by the gate. With both I don't want you to waste time. Remember we still have Morgan behind. Englishwoman who send foreign troops in Africa land. Peter, I just don't care what you say. The Ku Klux Klan man can't get away. Why? Blazing, blazing, blazing. A burning and a burning and a burning and a burning. Catch me. Stop pushing, it have plenty more coming. They call them from overseas, but leave my low-key. During my lifetime, to me they were so unkind. So much corruption that they make. Now it is time they must feel me way. Peter, Peter, don't hold me back. Look, the one we draft the Public Order Act. Peter, look, catch that big belly fella. We carry my money down Panama. Troops in the Caribbean. Peter, I just don't care what you do, but go ahead, going in the fire too. Why? A burning and a burning and a burning and a burning. Blazing, blazing, blazing. with them I don't be dealing. Because the things that they do me, I want to fix them personally. Peter wait, Peter looks at the roads by the gate. Peter, look the Englishman, we send Cecil Rhodes to Africa land. Peter, take trade, take rally, but leave Victoria for me. Peter, I just don't care what you say, but most only he can't get away. Why? From this madman and woman, I feel the full weight of the hand. Them they oppress law, they never care about the poor. Peter, these people had the day, well now it's time for Stalin to play. Peter wait, I say Peter wait, Peter look Ian Smith by the gate. Peter, I don't want you to make fuss, remember I want Christopher Columbus. Peter look the Englishwoman who in South Africa refused to put sanctions. Peter, I just don't care what you do, but Reagan going in the fire too. Why? Blazing. Burning. Let me know. Your hand done full already. You don't deal with the Führer. Go ahead and take Foster. But that woman Mary, remember that's my baby. So much confusion that she make. You got to give Black Stallion a break. Peter wait, I say Peter wait. Peter look voter reach by the gate. Reporter, I don't want you to waste time. Remember we still have more than behind. Peter look the English woman who send foreign troops in Africa land. Peter, I just don't care what you say. The Ku Klux Klan man can't get away. Why? Blazing. I'm running. Catch me. One them boy. Come in. Everybody. Stop pushing, you have plenty more coming. They call them from overseas, but leave my low-key. During my lifetime, to me they were so unkind. So much corruption that they make, now in this time they must feel the way. Peter, don't hold me back, look the one we draft the public order. Peter, look, catch that big belly fella, we carry my money down Panama. Peter, look the woman who bring foreign troops in the Caribbean. Peter, I just don't care what you do, but go ahead, go into the fire too. Why? I'm running. Blazing. We're running. Coming. Man. and you hear them running them out. It have a whole set of people don't care what they're talking about. A racist is someone living happy and all their family do Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to hear where the next food coming from. Get up early next morning. Go down in the 10 days yard. You see so much different type of people. Line up with the ID card. Or visit my village called Talparo, where they ain't get no water for years. People don't know the race. Yes, they don't know the color. With a bucket sit down shedding tears. No, tell them racist sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to hear where the next food coming from. Visit the General Hospital, and I know that you would be shocked to see so much different race of people line up waiting on the dock. Or pay a visit to the AIDS ward, where they ain't find no cure as yet. People don't know the race, yes they can't remember the color. All they know is that they feel in debt. Now tell them racist sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to hear where the next food coming from. A racist is someone who have something that they want to protect. So they would always keep on talking the race talk till the day of the death. But poor people, we have nothing. Don't know where the next meal coming from. So I want you to go and to tell all them races, suffering makes us one. Now tell them racist sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from tongue. Sufferers only want to know where the next food comes.
Right, we are live here now. I'm gonna wait to see how much people will be coming on the live here with us. You'll wait a while to see. All those that will be joining us in a second. We have a lot to talk about. Hopefully we have some more people here on the live here with us. Today we're going to talk about the lockdown or the shutdown of the countries. And I'm going to specifically explain to you all why they haven't locked down certain countries completely yet. And the purpose of why everything it is how it is right now. So I'll just wait for the live to build. So whoever you could, send a invite or, copy the link of this live audio here. And then you could send it towards whoever you want to send it to. I think that would be a better thing to do. Good morning, good afternoon to all my viewers, to Angel Darling, to Sister Rosa, to Brother Frank, Brother Obi. Welcome to this live until we wait until the others come. Alright, so a few days ago I announced that there will be fireballs launched at certain countries. But I didn't explain to you all the magnitudes of how these events will happen. Although I did explain to you all about 5 months ago how the lava balls will be launched from Hawaii straight to America, how the fireballs will be launched from heaven in the millions or in the hundreds. I believe in the hundreds. These fireballs will actually be coming down with these fireballs will be coming down with, I can't remember what was the name of the gas, but these fireballs will be coming down with explosive gas within them. So the explosive gas will be placed within these fireballs, and when these fireballs touch the ground, it will make like huge craters. Like where you see in certain parts, you see big craters and things opening. You see craters opening, right? The fireballs that will be falling, it will be different from the fireballs that we were sending to give the public or give the people warnings of the impending doom of of the impending judgment. So the fireballs you see in Japan, the fireballs you see in Wuhan, the fireballs you saw in Utah, the fireballs you saw in California, fireballs saw in Trinidad, the fireballs saw Argentina, fireballs saw. How about the fireballs that was saw in Indonesia, the fireballs that was seen all the way in Russia. All right, and how about the earthquakes? The earthquakes that are happening, and everything happening in a certain sequence. Everything must fulfill in a certain sequence. Everything must happen in a certain sequence. As that is the will of Elohim. That is the will of YAHUWAH. That all these events manifest in a specific way, where people will know the pattern. That is why the divine prophecies was given to Archangel Samuel, Abbadiel, to give to the people, freely, and to make them understand what is at stake right now. Give them a proper understanding so that they will be able to understand what is at stake or what is going on right now. Yes, Brother Frank, methane gas, you take that word out of my mouth. Yes. So, yes, the fireballs that will be sent down, maybe next week or maybe during this afternoon or maybe next 3 days or so. They will think about that. And these are the things that NASA and the other agencies are preparing for. They are preparing for millions of fireballs to fall from the heavens, or hundreds of fireballs to fall from the heavens, because they know this event is going to happen. I know some of you all who brainwash will know it as a meteor fall from the heavens, and you know what they call a meteor is really a fireball. All right, we live in a glass dome, and it's the creator who's sending these fireballs down here. So that means that the creator has power to send fireballs, and the fireball that the creator sending is, you know, angels. Some angels have the power to create these fireballs in the hand. If you ever play Game Boy, play PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, you play PlayStation 4, alright, and you play, let me say, Street Fighter, and you know Street Fighter with Ryu and Ken. I play it, so I know. With Ryu and Ken, and you know they have the ability to shoot water out from their hands, right? They have the ability to have special moves in order to, you know, to shoot water from their hands. And sometimes when Ryu get in a certain not Ryu but Ken, when Ken or Ryu reach to the level up, so to speak, then let us be in a super mode, and then let us, you know, shoot fire out from their hand, right? Well, the creator could do that. Yes, Yahuwah, just like what you're seeing on the screen there. Yes, the creator could shoot fire out from his hands. He have the power to shoot fire out from his hands. Certain angels have the power to as well to shoot fireballs out from their hands. They form the fireballs and then they shoot it. But it depends on how close they are from the earth. Let me say they're about 70,000 kilometers from the earth to the heavens. They say about 700, and they shoot a fireball from there. It depends on how far they are when they shoot it onto the earth, so people can see it. So if they further, that means that the fireball wouldn't travel that long, because remember, they're too far. So before it reaches the earth, it will just dissipate and disappear. We saw that plenty times. I'll show you all videos of that plenty times, where you see a fireball shoot down, and before it could reach the ground, it just out or dissipate then. Or sometimes you might see the fireball actually touch the ground, but it you know, sometimes it might cause a crater or something. It depends on the level up. It actually depends on what Yahuwah tell that angel to do. That angel could specifically create a crater with his fireball. So in other words, I'm trying to tell you all, the games that they show us, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, you have special move. There's a game called Shadow Fight or Shadow Warriors. That game is inspired by a fallen angel. So most of you maybe come across the Shadow Fight already. And Shadow Fight have a lot to do with the spiritual world and with the carnal world. It have a lot to do with the spiritual world and the carnal world. Well, it's the same thing with Street Fighter. Street Fighter have a lot to do with the spiritual world and the carnal world. But the thing is, you need to be, you know, spiritually motivated or empowered by Elohim to have that strong anointing. You see, sometimes when you see the showing this shit on church, in a church service, and next thing you see the pastor say, "Fire of the Holy Ghost," and next thing you see everybody just falling down like some cacaholes. That's a waste of time. You know, that not anointing. You know, these people are paid to fall down. You know, these people are paid. These people are paid actors, just like the recent person who took the vaccine, who so-called took the vaccine, was a crisis actor. I keep telling you all over and over and over, this whole COVID-19 is an agenda, but nobody takes me serious. So let it continue, right? Let it continue up to 15 days. And after that 15 days, then you will see the judgment of Elohim. But we already passed that 15 days. Now we're actually on a countdown now from 7 days, when I warn you all from then. So right now we on 6 days into the countdown. And as you could see for your own self, when I said that certain things will happen, when I say that certain things will happen, yes, it will happen. Right? It mightn't happen when you want it to happen, or when you think it should happen, my brothers and sisters, but it will happen. All right? So the person who took the so-called vaccine, and spoke about, she spoke about, and she said that she didn't feel any ill. She didn't feel ill towards the vaccine, anything like that. I have something to tell you all. That vaccine wasn't real. The media lie. The person who the media gave to push that article out to the public, right? So that all the other medias could follow suit. That person is working for the Illuminati. That person is working for the New World Order. That person is being paid. That person is being paid thousands of dollars to keep them out shut. Right? So it's like they get a luxury bunker for them and their family if they keep the secrets of the New World Order or the Illuminati secret. If they keep the Skull and Bones secret of the Freemason, if they keep the secret, they will have a personal bunker for them and themselves. So there's some people think that Trinidad do have bunkers. Yes, there's a bunker in Maraval, Trinidad. There's a bunker in Maraval, Trinidad where the Prime Minister, the Minister of National Security, all ministers will flee when the mega catastrophic tsunamis start to happen, or when the mega catastrophic earthquakes happening. So if the public is listening to my prophecies, which is actually a prayer, if the public listen to me and me only, and switch off the friggin' TV, now the people will not be in fear. They will fear Elohim, and they'll turn their hearts to worship Elohim in spirit and in truth, not to worship any idol or to worship the religion or to worship the pastors or the deacons, perhaps, right? But what I'm saying, if people switch off the blasted TV, nobody will not be in fear. And as you can see, Trinidadians, or wherever you are from, as you can see, everything on the TV now, they remove all the movies you used to see, the shows you used to watch, and now COVID-19 take over this TV station, take over the radio station. So it's like they're ponging it in your mind over and over and over. And now they're restricting certain things. They will restrict this and they will restrict that. All right? So they're restricting different things right now. And eventually all the Caribbean islands will lock down. But the truth is, the Caribbean islands can't just lock down, just like, especially Trinidad. The government cannot lock down the country just like that. You see, it's like people who are awakened in Trinidad. It's like people who are awakened in the Philippines, but still afraid to speak. It's like people in the Caribbean islands. That's why they're being specifically empowered by the people. If you realize how dotish the tribe of Benjamin really is, the tribe of Benjamin are people, how stupid the Caribbean island people is, that they're actually saying, yes, restrict this, yes, restrict this. I don't think that these people should be, the government have minions on Facebook, have fake profiles, right? Now the government ministers, when they're doing a broadcast, they have no time to go up and look at each and everybody comments and all this kind of thing. What they will do is, everybody who criticizing them and all this kind of thing, they just ignore that. They pay somebody, give them a fake profile and tell them, look, this is what I need you to do. This is what I need you to go and do. I need you to go up on Facebook, and I need you to watch and see all the comments that we could use, all the things that we could use, and they will use the comments of people on Facebook. They will use the reaction of people on Facebook on what they see in order to get their agendas across. So that's the reason why they start to restrict certain things, shut down bars, shut down events. You could no longer go to the beach. They're going and shut down that just now. You could no longer go to the river. They go shut down that just now. You could no longer travel on a bus. They will shut down that just now, right? So public transportation completely died down. People not opening their eyes to see what is the true agenda here. They're using the affection of other people who scared for their life. A lot of people scared for their life. And the reason why they're using all these tactics, because the government themselves know that this whole thing is an agenda. And they cannot tell you, all right? The government cannot speak, and they cannot tell you, well, this whole thing is an agenda, and we have to do what we are paid to do. You see, that's what people don't understand. That's what people don't understand at all. The government is paid a salary every month. Besides a salary from the cabinet, besides having a salary opposed by the cabinet. Recently, this happened in the Caribbean island where the government of Trinidad and Tobago precisely raised their pension plan, they raised their salary. Nobody said anything. Nobody protested. Nobody said nothing. Everybody keep their tail between their legs. They say, boy, nobody listening. Well, who did it next? Donald Trump. Donald Trump raised taxes. He raised his salary. He raised his pension plan for all his minions. Right? That didn't come from them. That come from the Illuminati. They are the ones who raising the bar, constantly. Remember, I spoke to you all about B-Mobile. I spoke to you all about B-Mobile. B-Mobile and T-Mobile is one. B-Mobile is just a franchise in Trinidad here, where everybody knows a telecommunication of Trinidad and Tobago or what have you. And there's also different telecommunications companies out there that does different things. So I just telling you what comes to mind right now. B-Mobile, Digicel, Telmobile, Telecel, alright, Vodafone, AT&T, I'll give me some names, right? All these different companies and things, right? All these different companies is a group of companies. They just have a different name, but they all operate as one. It's called intercommunication, where a network takes a feed from another network and then they join. So what I'm trying to say in other words, people thought there was really a competition when AT&T or when AT&T and T-Mobile was in war in 2016. Everybody thought that that would be a competition, blah blah blah. Nothing is a complete. It was never a competition. Everybody thought there was a competition with these companies. These companies is not a competition. They're not fighting on one another. It's all a plan. It's also an agenda. It's everything to make you believe, to fool you, to deceive you, to make you believe that these companies are at war. T-Mobile have a better plan than this plan, but the agenda is not really who had the better plan. The agenda is who could actually get enough customers so that they could actually get enough data to present to the Illuminati. This is how it goes. It doesn't go how the way you think it is. How they lie and tell you, they just a telephone company and they just they have rules and regulations, blah blah blah. But they never tell you where your data goes. They never tell you, well, your data go here, your data go there. It does never ever give you a reasonable idea of where your data going or who your data going to. But your data is really going to the Illuminati, to the Freemasons, and all kind of thing. I know some people fed up hear me talking, but I had to do my job. You have to do your job. Is either you turn to Elohim or you die. Is either you serve the one world government or you die. You have your own sketch, right? You have your own sketch. You have your own drawing board. You have your own Karen. You could color wherever you want to color. But we're concerned with Elohim. Elohim is the path. They are life. And if you choose not to follow the road of righteousness, then when that day come and then you see, when you start to see Venezuela sinking and you see Trinidad sink and you see Philippines start to sink and you see Peru start to sink, you see all these places that start to split open and start to sink and people running wild. You want to know, well, what the heck going on here? And then you will say, but why they was distracting us with this COVID-19? That is because the Creator coming. That is because YAHUSHUA coming. YAHUSHUA coming to judge the earth, and they know that. They know YAHUSHUA coming to judge the earth. So they're trying their utmost best right now to keep everybody distracted, not looking up in the sky, not watching out. They don't want no gatherings and all these different things, because this is all part of the agenda to keep you blinded. They want you to remain blinded. This is the agenda. The agenda is to remain blind. This is all this is about. This is about to keep you blinded, to remain blinded. All right? So these are the things that really happening right now. I just want to give you all an update of what Elohim is doing right now in the earth. As you can see, the specific saturations that is happening right now, and we had executed we had executed a mega earthquake this morning in Utah, and the magnitude was downgraded to 5.6. All right, the earthquake that happened in Utah this morning was at least 6.8. It was downgraded by USGS quickly, and it seems as USGS don't know that people like me, we know when they downgrade the earthquake, when they upgrade the earthquake, because we know the magnitude and the depth that we went down exactly in order to achieve a 6.8 earthquake. All right, we know the depth of the earthquake that was executed. All right. Some people might say, well, what is he talking about? Talking about angels executing earthquake. If you go back and you read in the book of Daniel, if you go back and read in the book of Exodus, if you go back and you just do a little soul searching, you do a little prayer and fast and all these different things, you get a connection, you be interconnect with Elohim. You have a greater understanding of how all these events are happening. Somebody once told me that, hey, Archangel Samuel, I tell people I'm a work about what you're saying, and they're laughing, and people laughing and people making jokes, people making fun. Right now, it's all jokes and fun until after that 7 days end. It's all jokes and fun right now. Everybody could just laugh at me, everybody could just mock me, everybody could just scoff at me, But you see, when that day and time come, you will see. The purpose and the reason why I brought up these T-Mobile, B-Mobile, Digicel interconnection, and the reason why I brought up this is because they are the main leaders who is going to push out the 5G. Now, recently, B-Mobile in Trinidad put out an ad. The ad disappeared right now. You could never go back and see the ad where they was advertising 5G. It's completely gone. They completely wiped that ad. And they was advertising to the citizens that they're going to start 5G. I come across the website. I went on T-Mobile website. I went on B-Mobile website. I went on Digicel website. Each and every one of them had an ad advertising the 5G network. Now, I want to tell you all something. Each and everybody else will be dealt in a different way. Severely, some will die severely, some will suffer severely, some will have, different difficulties within their bodies or how they plan to destroy us. All right. And the purpose of the 5G network, they're trying to stop our, spiritual self from bursting out of the flesh. So this is why I explained to you all trillion times already, and I explained to you all why they invented 5G and the purpose of 5G. Now they were discussing behind closed doors, which was told to me by YAHUWAH, that they're now going to start something called 6G, which 6G if we still here by September, they're going to at least achieve the 7G. 7G network is completely, zombified. The people will be completely zombified by the 7G network. The 5G network could achieve it, but people don't understand the difference in the different 5G, that 4G, that 3G, all these different frequency. The 5G will be at least 70 gigahertz. All right. The 7G that they're going to start in September this year, Gregorian year, it's going to be at least 90 gigahertz. And what they're going to do is they're going to spray, particles, or should I say dust particles. These dust particles might look to you. If you ever watched Peter Pan before? You ever watched Peter Pan? All right, if you ever watch Peter Pan and you see Tinkerbell, what's the character name in Peter Pan? I think it's Tinkerbell. If you watch Peter Pan and you see Tinkerbell in the movie Peter Pan took Tinkerbell whatever, and he she, and then there was some dust that fell on Captain Hook, and Captain Hook could have fly and all this kind of thing. This is not a Peter Pan series. What's going on here? But I'm just trying to explain to you all the level of consciousness they want to destroy. Right? Now, they're going to spray something called a smart dust. I will call it smart dust. They're going to spray something called smart dust, but it's really particles. When we're breathing these particles within our body, when they activate the 5G and the 7G, different countries will have different gigahertz. And I believe Trinidad, they already, while they're buying this COVID-19 nonsense, the telecommunication companies, they are setting up the 5G networks, and they are upgrading, then they're upgrading from 4G to now 5G. All right. So certain telecommunication companies who's still running 3G network will now be running the 5G network. Right now in Japan, right now in Korea, right now in South Korea and all these different places in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, right now they are doing testing for the 7G, which is 19 gigahertz, which is 90 gigahertz. All right. Remember, 5G is 60. 5G is about 70 gigahertz, not 60. 5G is about 60 gigahertz. You know, they will not tell you the truth about how much gigahertz these telecommunication towers and them. You see them towers and them where you see going up and all these different, right? They will not tell you the gigahertz that these towers are pushing out. All right? And these things could affect your brain. It could affect your body because the particles that they put in the air or spread in the air. It's called chemtrails. If you never heard about chemtrails before, I invite you to go and do a research on chemtrails. Research on what is chemtrails. And then come back to this live if I'm still live. All right, so when you do your research properly and you realize that they're spraying these particles, which is called smart dust, and give you an idea what you call smart dust, or if you want to call it magic dust, they spray this magic dust. And sometimes in California recently, let me say last year, California around November, September, there was a commander who lived in California that specifically said that when she came out to go to work the next day and she passed her hand on her car, it was completely covered in dust. Now, where she's living is in the city, and there's no mountain around to say, well, you know, there's a mountain around. There's no volcano eruption nearby to say, well, that ash fall in the car. That is dust, smart dust. All right, it's called Sahara dust. In Trinidad people know it as Sahara dust. But the truth about this is it's called smart dust. If you want to say smart dust, or if you want to say, you know, whatever you want to call it. All right, but I'm telling you about the option smart dust, and this is what they're going to use to poison our system. All right, and once they poison our system, now this is not the only way how to poison us. They have different ways to poison us. They could put the poison in the water, but the water, if they poison in the water, people could get sick, you could get diarrhea, you could get cholera, all these different things. You know, I just want to, you know, why are we talking about cholera? No, we were told that people in Africa, you know, in the poorest countries in Africa, the reason why they get cholera and different things is because of, you know, they were like, they will pee in the drinking water, they will choose in the drinking water. That is a lie. All right? Cholera no different from Ebola. Cholera is no different from the corona. Cholera is a lab-made virus. Yes, cholera is a lab-made virus that affects our body. All these different things that we experience when we're in the flesh, all these different colds, the flu, all these different things we experiencing, that is because the enemies are trying to kill us. The enemies are trying to kill us, and our immune system, the way our Abba, YAHUWAH created our immune system, is to fight off any virus or any disease that comes within our body. You know, depending on the type of diseases, like let's say HIV or AIDS, that is a man-made invention that was started in a lab too as well, right? When they invented AIDS, there was no pandemic. Was there a pandemic when they had AIDS? You know, was there a worldwide pandemic? Did they shut down the economy because of AIDS? Did they shut down the economy because of Ebola? No. Did they shut down the economy? And did Ebola even reach Trinidad? No. Did Ebola reach the Philippines? No. Where Ebola was, more in Africa. Think people, think. So if Ebola was in Africa, they point a finger and they say, well, Africa is the one who is responsible for Ebola, and that happening because of, you know, different things now, right? They talk that, and you say, well, you know, this is how it started with the African people and, you know, all this kind of thing. No. What they're actually doing with this so-called virus called the novel COVID, whatever the fuck they call it. What they're doing with this virus is they're blaming countries. Right about now, it's like every 3 days or every 5 hours or something like that, the government of Trinidad coming and telling the Trinidadians, you see how nobody not listening to them, nobody not even listening to certain rules, whatever they pass it on because they realize, but they're taking me fucking freedom away, right? Nobody listening to that. Certain places in the world are not listening to that. They're not listening to that. Florida is listening to the government and with the pandemic and all this kind of nonsense. The beach was flooded with people. People went on the beach and all this kind of thing. They don't want that. Why they don't want that? They want everybody in groups, right? They want you to be by yourself, or not really. They don't really want everybody in groups, right? They just want you to just hide like a freaking, stay in your hole, stay in your lane, so that when they pass a curfew. So the reason, let me tell Trinidadians something, people who listen from Trinidad. The reason why, all right, the reason why, listen carefully. The reason why the government of Trinidad and Tobago said that they only allow 25 to 50 persons together, or they say 10 persons together, and all this kind of nonsense, is because when they start curfew, they don't want nobody outside to see who they're going to take or who they're not going to take. So the purpose of this whole agenda that rocking right now with the Caribbean islands, all right, with Jamaica right now too as well, the purpose of this whole agenda is that when they lock down the countries or the right now, not sidetracking, but right now Italy's under curfew and nobody could come out of the house. Right now San Francisco is under curfew. New York City is under curfew. All right, Connecticut is under curfew. Ohio is under curfew. All the Christian strongholds, all the places where have Christians and it's a stronghold place where all the Christians are, those places they lock down, right? Because they know these Christians, they know they are powerless. They know they're powerless, and they know that they will support everything that they say because they're going along with everything that, you know, they love Trump so much now, you know. So this is just one of the reasons why I keep trying to let you all understand something really important here. They're going to evoke a curfew just now in Europe, but you see, to do that, it kind of hard to do certain things, like in the UK, United Kingdom, and all these different places. All right, because of that, you know, because of all these different things that is unfolding, because of different things that is happening. Hence the reason why the governments had to lock down the place. But when they do a curfew, when they started to do curfews and wherever, right? When they start to do curfews and wherever, then you will see things will change. Then you will see people will be helter-skelter. They want to know about. You see, it all depends on the certain agenda, right? It all depends on the agendas. It all depends on actually. It all depends on what the Illuminati or what the Freemason, what they want the government to do, what they want the government to do. This is all scripted, guys. This is all a script. It's all script. They're moving with scripts. They have a certain script to follow, and if they don't follow the script, then they could be in trouble. All right. For example, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago really surpass all the other prime ministers. He's 69. The last prime minister, didn't even make 69. Yeah, right. So my point is, people still not awakening. People still not waking. They're trusting the government. They're trusting their enemies. They trust everything that they say because they believe that the government have their best interests at heart. That is a lie. The government don't have your best interest at heart, because if something catastrophic was to happen, not no virus shit, what they're pushing. If something catastrophic was to happen, a mega catastrophic earthquakes that happen and all these different things one after the next, your government will leave your ass right there and run. All your ministers, your ministers and all of them who you put your trust in, rather your creators, right? They will leave your ass right there to dead. You leave you, your family, and all of them to dead right there. They wouldn't even. They will be flying in their helicopters or in their choppers or what have you, all right? And they take off in the sky and they're looking at everything happening below. And you from the ground, you have an untouched place. You have an untouched place, and you have like a lot of bottles, like let me say you have 1,000 pieces of bottles or whatever, and you just clear apart, and then you draw it and you just trace out with the bottles and you put help. The government minister will see that and he will never come. He's not coming down to help your ass. He's not going to land no chopper to help you. You're going to remain right there and suffer. This is what you all don't think. You all don't think the government do not have your best interest of heart. If the government had your best interest of heart, they would have tell you the truth of why they're pushing this COVID-19. They'll tell you why they push Ebola. They'll tell you, the government will tell you why they push all these different Spanish disease, the Black Plague. They'll tell you, they will be telling you all the different so-called plagues, and they blame it on the creator, and they say it's the creator send this, and now they're trying to find somebody to blame. All right, so when they find somebody to blame, now they're distracting fucking you being distracted, right? You being completely distracted, right, by all these different pandemic, by all these different distractions to cause fear in your heart, so that when the time come, and if this so-called COVID-19 agenda didn't work for them, they'll come with a different agenda again. They will come with a different agenda. And the next agenda, I don't think they're coming with any agenda after this. Because the fact that this is the final agenda, this is the final opportunity, because the world coming to an end. I don't care if you all do believe me or not. You all might say, oh, Archangel Samuel mad, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. The world is coming to an end. People just don't see it. You don't hear the pastors and them talking about the world coming to an end. You don't hear the prophets and them talking about the world coming to an end. Each and every one of them, they're supporting the agenda of the Illuminati. They're supporting the agenda for the New World Order. All right? They're seeking their own interest. They're not seeking your soul salvation. Like some of these pastors and them today, some of these prophets today. Right? They're not even focusing on your salvation, nothing like that. All right, so I am telling you all what is Elohim's plan, and Elohim's plan is to bring the world to an end, and this is what the enemies is afraid. This whole COVID-19 agenda is because your enemies is afraid of the wrath of Elohim that is going to unfold next month. Or the wrath of Elohim going to unfold in the next 7 days. Yes, the next 7 days. Alright, there's a reason why Elohim keep holding back certain judgments. They keep holding back certain things. But after the 7 days countdown, nobody will take me serious, but after the 7 days countdown, then we will start to see real critical things happening around the earth. By then, they should be able to achieve the 700 feet, 700 kilometers. By then, they should be able to achieve the 700 kilometer depth, or 700 kilometer depth earthquake or whatever. So only then, right? Only then they will have that opportunity to specifically do that. But as of right now, Elohim is looking towards that right now. They're looking to do the millions of fireballs or hundreds of fireballs. Those fireballs will be seen around the earth, every country, every nation. So every country that partake of this deceiving agenda, every country that partake of it will be punished. They will be punished by the universal law of Elohim to continue to poison its citizens, to continue to poison the children of Elohim. That way everybody is given an opportunity. Everybody is given an opportunity. Everybody given an opportunity to choose either righteousness, choose either truth. Everybody is given a specific opportunity to get everything right, to make sure that everything in our order. So this is just one of the purpose why you all need to listen to me, to understand why specific things are happening. If you have any specific questions, again, any questions that you may have, we are 14 minutes into this live, and I have dropped a whole lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to you. Free, of course. I have no agenda. All right. I just want to open your eyes. I want you to understand why certain things are happening. A few days ago, a lot of people reported to me from the island of Trinidad, also Philippines, reported the same thing happening in Florida. They reported to me that the skies were completely purple. The skies was purple and it changed to red. And I keep explaining to you all, and as I explained to you all a few days ago already, the purpose of the reason why the skies are changing color. The purpose, the purpose of why the skies change color. The purpose for the earthquakes, the purpose for the atmospheric tsunami, the purpose for the little rain falling here and there, the purpose of why the government is pushing this agenda and having everybody scared, you know, and have everybody working at home. My last live that I did, I specifically explained to you all what would have been their next agenda, and as you can see, it's next. What is next? Is a total lockdown. When I say a total lockdown, I mean ban, a total ban from everything. And in order to push this agenda to the extreme, they have to make people be more afraid. So there will be more fake COVID cases around the earth, and not to mention to the agenda with the organ harvesting. All right, they believe, judging from their perspective, the Illuminati, the false prophets, and all of them, they believe that they will have an opportunity to have a new world. They believe that they should be given a chance to have a new world. Means in their perspective, in their new world agenda, all right, that that world would be nice, when have no killing, when have this, blah, blah, blah. They want to experience their own heaven because they already fuck up this one, right? They want to experience their own heaven. Mean that's why they're talking about, they want to achieve the new world order, and they will have this, when you want to use money, and there will be one world religion, one world government, you know what I mean? But what I want to tell you all, they kind of lie about this agenda too, because there is already a one world government. It's just been done in secret. It's been done in secret. There has been a one world government for years now. But what they want to do is they want to enforce it where the public is aware of it. They're doing things in a secret, and this is the purpose, and this is the reason why all the other government ministers and others, as I explained to you all in depth already, and all the other ministers and CARICOM and all these different people were invited to the UN. They were invited to the UN. Any minister or from any country that goes to the UN are being poisoned. They are being poisoned, completely poisoned. All right, they are being poisoned, right? Poisoned by the leaders or the head of the UN. So who is who? Who worldwide organization? Who is the who? Right? Everybody here, the who said this, and the who said we should wash our hands, and the who said all kind of shit. Right? Who is the who? Who is really the who? The who is your enemies. Who is who? The who is the same UN. United Nations is the who. As we speak right now, Donald Trump specifically tell the same hospital ship, if Trinidadians remember, I think it was sometime last year, I think it was last year, and I can't remember. But if it was about last year, so I believe there was a hospital ship that docked in the Caribbean islands, and people were told you need to go to the hospital ship if you need care and all them kind of rubbish. This is the specific agenda why they send the hospital ship. The hospital ship is a part of the agenda. The hospital ship is to bring in certain diseases, right? I specifically tell everybody in Trinidad, whoever listened to my life then, that when the hospital ship come here, or when the hospital ship go in the Philippines or go in Jamaica, when the hospital ship dock in different countries, you will hear different things happening, specific agendas. You will hear children start to miss, you will hear this one start to miss, you will hear that. All right? That is because the hospital ship came with an agenda, and I keep telling people over and over. Now, the same hospital ship that came into the island of Trinidad, the same hospital ship came in Jamaica, or the whole Caribbean island, the same hospital ship that docked in the Philippines. All right? After the hospital ship gone, now listen to me carefully. When the hospital ship was docked into the country or docked on the harbor, there was no cases, I mean absolutely no cases of human trafficking where there was nobody missing then. There was no one missing. Nothing like that. You know, as soon as the fucking ship gone, as soon as the hospital ship gone, you know what happened? 3 girls gone missing. 3 boys gone missing. You don't know where they're gone. This one missing and that one missing. What was the purpose of the hospital ship then? You think the hospital ship really came to really give you free healthcare? Why do you need free healthcare? This is part of the agenda too as well. Right? Because specifically, the American people don't even have free healthcare. Right? If you don't have Obamacare, if you don't have the Obamacare, if you don't have that, if you don't have Medicare and all these different agenda, you will not. I mean, let me repeat. If you do not have the Obamacare and you live in America, you will suffer. If you don't have Medicare, you will suffer. Because if you don't have Obamacare, you cannot. And you know, when this agenda was being appropriately given to the public, I specifically say appropriately, right? When this agenda was disappropriately given to the general public in America, everybody accepted it. Everybody say yes, what Obama doing is the right thing and all kind of thing. But when you ask that to suffer now, and you realize that the Obamacare is a scam, because if you didn't sign up for Obamacare, you will not be helping the hospital, right? You can say, yeah, well, yeah, in Philippines, it's free. In the Philippines, have free healthcare. You could go to a hospital. If anybody not in labor and wherever, free hospital. Yeah, in Trinidad, free hospital, free healthcare, and even in New Zealand, free healthcare. But when it comes to America and Russia, you see all these giants, America, Russia, and China. China no free healthcare, In China no different from America. Russia no different from America. Russia no different from China, right? These who I'm speaking about, these are giants, right? These are giants, including the UK, including Italy, right? Because as you all should already know, the kingdom of darkness is the UN, right? That's why they just call all leaders from different countries to come up and talk. They call the prime minister and come up and talk. But the real agenda is not to represent your country. The real agenda is to push on the people. They have been working on this New World Order for a long time. Before I was born in this flesh, before some of us came here, before your great-great-grandmother was here, before your great-great-grandfather was here, they have been praying. When I mean praying, I mean on their knees, preying. They have been praying on this New World Order agenda for centuries, years, and they so desire it so much that they say, okay, well, hear what? We don't know when the Creator will bring an end to the earth. We don't know when He will do it, but there will be a sign. There will be somebody on the earth. There must be somebody on the earth. There must be somebody on the earth who the Creator will give specific messages to give the people so that their eyes will be open. And as we're coming closer and closer to that time, when they specifically see certain things happening, the way how it was divinely prophesied, by Abbadiel. All right, the way it was specifically prophesied by Abbadiel, the way it was prophesied by Archangel Samuel, the way it was prophesied. And they say, well, wait, look, guys, it actually happening the said way how we say it will happen. And you see it happening the said way how we say it will happen. Boom, it happened. And then the elites decided, you know what's going on here right now? We need a pandemic. We need a pandemic, and we need to declare it a worldwide pandemic. We need to declare a fake agenda, right? When I mean a fake agenda, I mean the agenda is real, right? The agenda is real, but the virus is fake. The government know that the virus is fake. They know, they know this specifically is a BORNE, right? They know is a BORNE agenda, right? Which they recently SARTED, with a recently STARDE, with a recently STARTED. If you could spell, I know you could spell, I know you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. They recently start that agenda, and because of that agenda, now it's out of proportion. And CNN and all these different bodies who you trust to listen to CNN. You put your trust in CNN. You put your trust in TTT. You put your trust in TV6. You put your trust in Fox News. You put your trust in BET. You put your trust in all these multi-billion news stations. You put your trust in them, and they are the ones who are deceiving you. They are the ones who poison your subconsciousness, and I keep telling you all that. They are the ones who poison in your mind. They poison in your mind, and the poison that they're using is fear. Fear is a deadly poison. Let me just explain how fear become a deadly poison, and I will explain it in a way where in human understanding, how humans will understand this. Bam. Let me say you walking in a truck. Let me say you walking on the road or something like that. Bam, you see a big snake. Fear coming in one time, right? Nobody can say if they see a snake, they will in fear, because we were taught in school from young growing up to fear. We were taught to fear, and fear is what is killing us. All right, fear is what they are using. They are using fear to make us be afraid of them. But you see, the assholes who supporting the agenda, they don't see that it will affect them and their family. They don't see that they're coming after them. You see, all those who talking about, yes, do this, yes, do that, yes, we shouldn't have these people, close on the borders, close on here. Hey, when they're coming for your ass, when they're coming for you, specifically you and your family, it will be devastating. Right? And then they will say, but I support this agenda. I support this agenda. Why the government will do me this? Why the government will do me that? Only then you will realize they never give a fuck about you. Then you realize that the government was going along with the agenda of the higher heads. Or should I say, the government was going ahead with the principalities and the powers in high places. The principalities and the powers in high places are the same people who are talking about who want this new world order. The same people who are talking about, yeah, right? Although in history books they talk about some of them dead and they did good things, like Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus did nothing. Christopher Columbus was a rapist. Christopher Columbus was a murderess. Christopher Columbus torment people, and we heard so much of good stories about Christopher, right? We heard Christopher Columbus come from Europe, and Christopher Columbus went come to the Caribbean and he discovered Jamaica and all this kind of thing. They fucking lie. Christopher Columbus didn't discover nothing, folks. Right? This is all a made-up agenda, right? So we were learning, in order for the education and everything, for the universities to function, they had to lie about history, and they lied about history. So guys, the history that you were taught in school, the history that you learn in biology, the history you learn in chemistry, the history you learn in social studies, and all these so-called high-class subjects that you learn in school and you have diploma and all this kind of nonsense. It was to keep you as slaves, right? In order to survive in this world, you have to be a slave. Let me hear you again. Let me hear what we always say again. In order to survive in this world, you need to be a slave. To be a slave to who? Your enemies. Who is your enemies? The same one who won the New World Order. Who's these people that won the New World Order? Talking about George Soros. We're talking about Pope Francis. We're talking about David Rockefeller. Yeah? We talk about Rockefeller. We talk about Mark Zuckerberg. Huh? We talk about the prime ministers and the presidents and them around the earth. They are not being influenced by people like me who love righteousness, or people who love to save people, or people who actually want the best interest at heart, so to speak. They are not being influenced by good people, people who want what is best for you, or people who want to save you, or people who want to rescue you, or people have best interest of heart. They are influenced by evil people. When I tell you evil people, they're so evil. They don't even care what it takes to achieve the agenda. They don't care if they lie to you. They don't care if they kill you. They don't care if they harvest your organs. They don't care how much service you have. They don't care if you work 24 hours a day. They don't care. They don't care if you have money to pay rent. They don't care if you have money to pay mortgage. They don't care if you have a job. They do not fucking care about you. You have to get it in your thick skull. Your enemies do not care about you. They do not care. Say it after me. Your enemies do not care about you. Say it again. Say, my enemies. Say it after me. My enemies do not care about me. Say it one more time. You had to get it in your mind. You had to let it register in your subconsciousness. In order for Elohim to step in a real divine intervention way in your life. Alright? You have to get it. It had to be a footprint in your heart. It had to be a footprint in your heart. You telling your subconscious mind, I will not continue to be a slave to my enemies. I will not continue to be a slave to my enemies. And very soon they will stop me from saying these things, because as soon as I start talking about certain things, they will cut me off. They were doing that a few weeks ago, but the reason why they kind of gave me back my profile, remember my profile had shut down? Remember they deleted it, right? Remember I had a lot of Facebook profiles I had with different names and teaching different things in depth, really in depth. They stole most of my teachings. I tell you, I'm more greater than this false prophet that called, what's his name? Nostradamus. What's his name? Nostradamus, whatever we call himself. Because Nostradamus is no different from King James. You know, a lot of Christian people will say, I don't know why you're talking about the King James version, because I believe the King James version Bible is the best version. I'm telling you all. Okay, the person who writes demonology, the person who writes the subject demonology, or the person who writes the book, there is a book called Demonology. Not apology, Demonology. I want you to go and research this. Please go and research this. Alright? The person that wrote demonology into existence, the person who have demonology as a subject in certain universities, like in Wichita and all these different places, or in colleges and different things. Demonology was written by the same King James. So if the King James, right, if peradventure, as I explained to you all here, right, if King James, the same man who wrote the Bible and the same man who wrote demonology, the same man who wrote the book Demonology, if he's the same person, I'm not being mistaken at all, because you can go and research it if you want. If he is the one who wrote demonology, and he's the same one who wrote the same Bible, catch my point? How could the King James Version Bible be a main source. How the King James Version Bible could be the main source? Everybody, mostly Christians, mostly religious, brainwashed people will say the King James Version Bible is way hard to read. Forget about all the NKV and all these different things. I'm telling you all, every fucking version of the Bible was written by the Roman. The Roman Catholic. Do you know that the Roman Catholic have their own Bible? Do you know that the Seventh-day Adventists have their own Bible? Do you know that the Jehovah's Witness and them have their own Bible? Well, you know the Christians and them they're rocking with the NIV, they're rocking with different versions of the Bible. They're not rocking with the ancient truth. They don't have the truth. They don't really have the foundation of righteousness, as I said already, as a footprint in their heart. They don't have the ancient truth of Elohim. They don't have the truth. What they have is a book of lies, a book packed with lies, mixed with different agendas. So that's how the homosexuals and them have their own Bible now. Yeah, what do you mean? The homosexuals have their own Bible. The LGBT community have their own Bible. They have their own pastors. They have their own pastors. They have their own deacon. They have their own prophets. Pastors marrying. When I say pastors, two man marrying man, woman marrying woman, woman marrying dog, man marrying a tree. All them kind of abominable things taking place. Where did they learn to keep these things? Because the Vatican write these things in the Bible. The Vatican have a lot to do with the fucking agendas, right? Since everybody had a different Bible and all this kind of thing, the Vatican is the one who is responsible for deceiving you through the Bible. The Vatican is the main body of religion. The main body of religion is the Vatican. The Vatican is the one. Now, right now, everybody is seeing the agenda. Everybody fucking blind. Most people on the earth, they're fucking blind right now. Oh gosh, I don't want Corona to kill me. Oh God, don't cough. I don't want kind of fuckery. But I want to tell people something. I want to just tell people before we look to wrap up here. Right? Why didn't they put steps in place before? Why didn't they exercise proper hygiene before? By washing and still telling you to wash your hands, put your hand in your arms when you're coughing, and all them kind of nonsense. Wear face masks, wear gloves. Why didn't they do that before with the strain of virus that they released last year? Huh? No, I want you to tell me. This pandemic is an agenda. To lock down the country. This pandemic is a fake virus. We know that because the real thing already passed and gone. We survived it, Dread. We survived the real virus. So yes, guys, they did release the virus. I am being admitted to you and I'll tell you all the truth. The virus was released last year. Last year, a virus was released throughout the whole fucking Caribbean. Everybody got sick. When I tell you sick, you were sick for 2-3 weeks. You can't breathe. You had intense headache. Blood through your nose, you're spitting blood. My gosh. And a lot of people could give testimony. A lot of people could give a testimony if they went through this. If you went through anything unusual last year in respect to the flu, that strain on the flu last year was completely devastating. Because I'm speaking from experience. The flu last year, I could have said that was a pandemic. They didn't put it as a pandemic, because I already exposed that. And I tell everybody, the flu that you're experiencing, that flu that you're going through, guys, that ain't no fucking normal flu. Not, you blow your nose, ting, that ain't not normal flu. The flu that we passed through last year could have killed we. It didn't kill me because Elohim gave us strength. Because you know why? It wasn't time yet. It wasn't time yet for Yahushua to bust the sky. It wasn't time yet for the mega catastrophic earthquakes and all these different things, the atmospheric tsunami and the final dregs to happen. It wasn't time to really bring. It wasn't 2020 now, boy. Let me explain that. So last year, Yahushua, Mama and Papa, they gave us a spiritual boost. We had a spiritual boost. That means that they boosted our immune system. Our immune system was spiritually boosted, guys. We were spiritually boosted. And that spiritual boost that we got, it was a spiritual boost. And the spiritual boost that we got to our immune system in order to uphold us, in order to keep us, so that we do not die. So last year, the last strain of virus that they did release last year, a lot of people went in hospital. Some people died with it too as well, right? And that strain of virus that I'm talking about is called the H1N1. The H1N1 could have been a fucking pandemic. They didn't push it. Why they didn't push H1N1 as a pandemic? Why they didn't push Ebola? Why they didn't push Ebola as a pandemic? Why didn't shut down the whole country, the whole world for Ebola? Why didn't shut down the whole world for H1N1? Because this is why I explained to you all, it wasn't time. It wasn't time. They couldn't do it. They have a window of opportunity to do certain things right now. Alright? Because ABBA fastly approaching things. So they have a small window. They have only 6 months, as I tell you all already. 1 day in heaven, 1 day on earth is 1,000 years in heaven. So that specifically means the enemies, the elites, they are operating according to the heavenly calendar. They operating according to our true Shabbats. They following our true Shabbats. They're following along every single word that Archangel Samuel speaks, every single word that Abbadiel speaks. They are going along with every single word that I speak, every single word and every single prophecy. That's why they shut on the profile to go back to see. And in order to really work in the background and to learn even more things that they missed, certain lives that they didn't see, they had to shut on my profile for a couple of days, completely shut it down while they run background checks and watch through certain lives and watch through certain prophecies, and then they have an AI. They have an AI have recordings of every single prophecy, every single every single teaching that I did. They have an AI recording all that. So there's a lot that you need to know and a lot that you need to stir up to understand what's going on there. So yes, they did release the virus in 2019. That's why they're calling it COVID-19. Because the virus, a strain of the H1N1 virus, that should have been a pandemic, not the corona. Because the corona goes back to a real. You ever heard about Corona Extra? If you ever heard about Corona Extra, you should go up and research Corona Extra. Corona Extra is a 6-pack of beer, or you can get in cases too as well. I don't think it have it in the Caribbean. I'm not sure if it have it in the Caribbean, but places like England, all these different places. Alright, you could get the Corona Extra beer. Yes, Corona is a beer. And there's also a martini. Those who may know who's a martini or a whiskey or something like that. So there is a Sprite. There is a Sprite. Like Trinidadians just call it punching, and Trinidadians call it black and white or black label or punching rum. In the Philippines, they have different names that are called different Sprite. So yeah, guys, it's really this thing is really an agenda, because they take the word corona from Corona Extra, and then they take the word virus from an expensive rum, which is called virus. They put the corona beer next to the virus and they call it coronavirus. It's simple. It's simple. But as I said already, the real pandemic should have been in 2019. The real pandemic should have been in 2019. So guys, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who joined today's live. I hope that you all will share this live. I hope that you all will go back and look at it. I will pray that you all will go back and listen to this live and understand exactly what I'm saying to you all, I cannot speak certain things in depth. I have to keep certain things concealed. Yes, I am like the prophet Daniel, the true prophet Daniel. I am like, Enoch, Jeremiah, all these different true messengers that came into the flesh to warn you of the impending doom of your enemies, and the reason why they are scared and running under their bunkers, because they know that the greater judgment is coming, and they know that Archangel Abbadiel, Archangel Samuel, they know that he do not lie. They know that Archangel Samuel do not lie, and they know specifically that everything that he's saying is coming to pass. And they know that Elohim supports everything that Archangel Samuel says. So the enemies are going along with the agenda, as they only have a few more weeks. They have a few more weeks right now. I just want to touch on the organ harvesting going on in Italy right now. Yes, right now, Italy, they're harvesting their people right now. They're harvesting the organs, or I should say, the life source. They're harvesting the life source of the Italians and using 5G. So they're using 5G and running experiments. And they're also multi-testing with the 6 and 7G right now in Italy and different parts of the country too. Right now they're doing the same thing in Philippines. They're doing the same. I've been hit. No time to give up, brother. No time to quit. The chance of a madman in the scale from a strange land. The chance of the madman is the only salvation. I say the chance of a madman in the scale from a strange land. The chance of the madman. Everybody. We'll be talking about so-called pandemic that's happening all the coffins that you're seeing there right about now. So every time I come alive, I'll go in deep and the rabbit hole to explain certain things. Right about now, a lot of people live right now. There's a lot of people live. I am here to teach you, to make you understand a little more about the so-called pandemic thing that is happening around the earth. And I want to explain to you all why the case is, why certain things, how it is right about now. So I'd like to give you all a little idea on what is the plans forward from today. I also want to explain to you all some little factors that should be able here to pull up, but I wait until you have more people. Wait until at least there's a lot more people. So when there's a lot more people, I'll be able to break it down and explain a lot more things that you all should understand. Alright, so let's just explain it there, and we'll be able to drop some wisdom, knowledge, and understanding here. So let's see how much people we will get on this live. Hoping that more and more people will come out and listen, and people will understand why all these things are happening. And I don't think people is really taking serious the things that I'm saying or the things that I'm revealing. People are really lacking wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And therefore Elohim is going to remove protection from a lot of people. Alright, so a lot of you all, wherever you are right now, whatever country you are right now, I know that you are self-quarantined or you are quarantined by your government, because they are shutting down every single thing. So every single thing right about now is being shut down. Schools are being shut down. The only thing that is right now that is operational is banks, but the bank is taking in 10 people at a time. So let's say if there's like 20 people, you have to wait outside in the hot sun. You have to wait outside in the hot sun to see the bank teller wherever, if you had to pay bills and wherever online. Also today I want to be explaining a little bit about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about a little depth of some other things that you all might want to know. You all might want to know why I'm talking about these things, or why I want to explain these things. And what is the purpose of me telling you certain things? Because I want you to know I am the first person to explain certain things, and then other people just take it and carry it. You know, it's like the wind now. You know, they take whatever I give, and then after they take it and they just drive it through, they just carry it, whatever that to carry it. You know, but I'm here trying to explain to you all what's going on, so I want you all to share this live as much as possible. Share this live. We need to get as much people as possible. As you all know what Elohim plan to do, you know what they plan to, what they plan. But wow, I see numbers and things in the sky right about now. So yeah, guys, you all who in the Caribbean islands, wherever you are right about now, the sun may be hot. You in the Philippines, you're under quarantine, and those in the Philippines, you need a pass. So let's just share this live around. Let's see how much people we could reach. I know the picture that you're seeing there is kind of disheartening, but I was hoping to explain the reason and the purpose behind it, why there's so much coffins. But this has nothing to do with coronavirus, guys. Coronavirus is just the name or the agenda that they put behind it. The symptoms that a lot of people is feeling, a lot of people is experiencing, it is just the normal flu, which is the H1N1 virus. Let me say that again. The coronavirus is an agenda being pushed by the New World Order, by the elite shadow government. A lot of you may not know who is the elite shadow government, but I think you should know who's the elite shadow government, and you should have an idea who the elite shadow government entails. All right? So as you can see with America, starting with America, Canada, all these different places, and the words that they are using, just like Donald Trump, when Donald Trump was campaigning, the words that he used from the movie called Purge was, let's make America great again. All right? Now, the words that they are using for this pandemic agenda, every government official around the earth, the words they are smartly using is, we are all in this together. But when you hear them say we are all in this together, you specifically think they're talking about you. You think they involving? Yes, you are part of it. Yes, you the citizen. Yes, you the population are part of it. But it's more deeper than this. It's way more deeper than this. All right. Now they will say, we are all in this together to fight COVID-19, blah, 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 blah. So the agenda here is COVID-19. Every 100 years, there's a pandemic that they fake because they want the New World Order, and Elohim hasn't been allowing that. Elohim has not been allowing the New World Order to go forth. So because Elohim has not been allowing the New World Order to go forth, this is the reason and the purpose why there's a pandemic every 100 years. Because every 100 years, they reach a certain anniversary of a certain deception. All right, I'm waiting until I have at least 20 something or 60 something or maybe 100 people on the live, so to speak, so I can explain a lot more deep things. Good morning, good afternoon to all my brothers and sisters, whatever country, whatever nation you are right about now. As I repeat, you are quarantined by your government for an agenda. Because the agenda is moving a lot quickly, it will be moving a lot quickly now. And from today on and until Friday coming here, we're going to see the so-called cases of COVID-19 drop in Italy. So that's like what happened in that's like the agenda that happened in Wuhan, China, where the so-called COVID-19 began. Well, China got a big piece of money to push this agenda, and during the COVID-19 agenda, the president and all the other officials, they went in the bunkers and they were hiding. You wasn't hearing nothing about the president. You wasn't hearing nothing from the president of China, but all of a sudden now the president of China now coming out and saying, yes, it was a great pandemic, blah blah blah, but we in Wuhan, we actually get the virus under control in Wuhan, and there's no more cases. They lie. There was never any COVID-19 to begin with. This was all a conjoined agenda. I've been telling you all that for some months now, to look out for this pandemic, for this catastrophic pandemic, or for this catastrophic disaster coming that will trigger the wrath of Elohim. And nobody didn't believe me. And still up to this very day, guys, people still do not listen to anything that I have to say. It doesn't really matter if they listen, but the truth must go out. And I am the only true source that giving you accurate information, accurate truth. And it can specifically say, yes, this is what it is, and you will see this unfolding right before your eyes. Every single thing that I bring forth to your forefront, everything that I speak, it will come to pass. It mightn't come to pass immediately when you expect it to, but it will come to pass when Elohim desired it to come to pass. So, what happened in one was a whole complete agenda. It had nothing to do with no mistake, never happened. And I want you all to know too as well, we're not hearing any COVID-19 so-called cases in Israel. We're not hearing no so-called COVID-19 in Russia, right? So because the agenda is so compressed with different people available to it, and because certain countries didn't go along with this agenda, right? Because certain countries not a part of the UN. So the only country, if you look at the bigger picture here, Cambodia and all them other places, you're not hearing no COVID-19 Cambodia. You're not hearing no COVID-19 in certain parts of Africa, because they have a different plan for Africa, right? They have a different plan for Africa. This has nothing to do with because they're black and they're mailing and because they're black and the immune system stronger. This have nothing to do with this. This have to do with a secret agenda. A secret agenda which look like a simple agenda. Which look like a simple matter to you is really an agenda. Now some people say, oh, COVID-19, I have to stay in my house. This is all to inject fear. This is all about fear. This have nothing to do with because they want to control it. All right, the H1N1 virus was a serious virus, because speaking from experience, a lot of you all around the earth had this really serious severe cold that lasts almost for 3 months. Sometimes some people had it for almost 3 weeks or a month, 2 months. It comes and it goes, it comes and it goes. It was in Trinidad, it was in the Philippines, right? And a lot of people rush to the hospital and all these different things. That they should have called a pandemic, not this COVID-19 agenda. All right. So because they heard the WHO and them, because the World Health Organization, they heard that this H1N1 virus is still something that people are talking about. So they say, well, okay, let me restructure this whole agenda. So they did a restructuring of the whole agenda. They properly well planned it out. All the prime ministers, the ministers, the national security, they are all involved in this. The police commissioner, each and every one of them, they have to be involved in this agenda. They have to go along with exactly as the script says. Some of the police officers don't even know what they're putting themselves into. Some of the military soldiers don't even know what they put themselves into. As of right now, the so-called COVID-19 case is almost 38 something thousand, right? 38 something thousand. So from a few days, it jumped from 1,200 to 38,000 in a few days, right? I am telling you all, they're just making up cases. The cases that they are making up is the people who they are going to exterminate. Let me say it again. Now in Trinidad right about now, I heard in Trinidad right about now, the so-called case right now is about 51 to 52, and by sometime next 2 days or whatever, the case will jump to 65. All right. The cases that they are announcing is people who they are going to exterminate. You know what I mean by exterminate? All them coffins that you see packed up there, right? All them coffins you seen packed up there is empty coffins, right? Now it's all over Facebook or what happened in Italy, blah blah blah. But they're not killing not any and everybody in Italy will be killed. You see people who are not from Italy, Let's listen to me carefully. You see visitors who in Italy right now, I'm sorry. All those who visiting from whatever country visiting Italy, maybe on a vacation, this pandemic will have you killed. They don't care what country you're from. They don't care which country you're from. That is the reason why, for the Trinidadians who are listening, whatever country you're listening to, that is the reason why the government of Trinidad and Tobago, the government of the Philippines, they went out of their way, well, they have to, they went out of their way to make sure they fly in citizens from different countries, get them from these countries, because they know specifically, well, what will happen to them. They will die. All right? Let me just say it again. The purpose and the reason why, specifically for the island of Trinidad and Philippines, the Caribbean or different countries around the earth, the reason why the government and I'm saying, okay, we're going to open up the airlines right now, because they open up the airport is closed. Yes, to anybody who are citizens and want to leave the country, you cannot leave the country. You are imprisoned. Life is normal. Yeah, life is normal. You're accustomed going to work. You're accustomed doing whatever you're doing. Bars are closed. All these different things, because the city is in order to stop the spread of COVID-19. But that is not the agenda. It's not to stop the spread of nothing. It's to stop the spread of information. It's to stop the spread of truth. All right? That people will open their eyes to know that this is no fucking pandemic. This is an agenda. All right? Anyhow, let me go a little deeper into the rabbit hole here. I want to explain a lot more. All right. So now we have the airports being shut down. You can go or nobody can come in. The airport is completely shut down, and nobody could leave. If you had a vacation wherever, and you already paid for your vacation, that money going down the drain, because they're not going to reimburse you. They are not. Let me say it again. All right. Although they were told in the Philippines that if you had a vacation or whatever, if you had a planned vacation, whatever, you had to put off this plan. You had to put out your planned vacation because of COVID-19. They don't want nobody leave and all this kind of nonsense. You do not see the agenda because you are dotish, because you are stupid. All right, and we who are awakened, we know what is the agenda. We know specifically who running the show, right? And we know is real top high class, or as I said, top high class information. So the information that I'm giving you right about now is top official information. The information that I'm giving you, all the things that I'm leaking to you, all the things that I'm telling you and everybody ignoring, the things that I'm leaking to you or telling you is things that they do not want the public to know. Alright? Things that I'm teaching you, they do not want the public to know anything about that. Alright? So when people on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever say that, oh, they're afraid to speak out because they're afraid their life in danger and all them kind of nonsense, they push on an agenda. They want to be famous. They want to be famous. They're not doing it from their heart as I am doing it from my heart, from Elohim, trying to open the eyes of the public so that they will understand what's really going on. Alright? So the purpose and the reason for shutting down all these airlines and shutting down this, note to the public, to whoever listening, wherever you're from. You know how much billions and trillions of dollars they are losing? You know how much money? You know how much, as I said, let me repeat, you know how much hundreds and hundreds of dollars they are losing with airports shut down, with businesses shut down, with the economy shut down? You know how much money they're losing? You know how much billions and hundreds of dollars they're losing? Well, that is because they plan to reboot the system. And because they plan to reboot the system, hence the reason why, folks, hence the reason why they have this pandemic nonsense happening. Because they plan to not boot into the money system or the economy before. They plan to boot into the Bitcoin agenda. Now, a lot of you maybe never heard about the Bitcoin. Some of you heard about the Bitcoin, all right? But you heard it from me first. Never heard it from nobody else already. When I bring out the information and when I bring out some certain things from the rabbit hole, is to teach you and to make you aware of what is the agenda, what is their plans next. Give you everything in one. Right? So Bitcoin, some people don't know who Bitcoin is. Who is the owners of the Bitcoin? And who are who are the ones responsible for keeping the Bitcoin upstream? You ever heard anything about the Bitcoin going down? You ever hear the value in the Bitcoin dropping? All right. Yes, you may be heard of the Bitcoin value dropping, but that is just one aspect of it. But Bitcoin, a lot of you have maybe never heard about Bitcoin, but Bitcoin is the new world order currency, right? That everything will be cashless. Now, in order to push a cashless society, they have to completely shut down the economy. They have to reboot it in a different way, but they have to reboot it where people will remain in fear. So people will have to remain in fear for the economy to, for everything to go back normal. Because everything, if they are successful in this agenda, and they happen to get everything done before 6 months, then they'll be able to have the new world order if ABBA will allow that. But it don't seem like ABBA will allow it. It don't seem like the Creator is going to allow the elites or the fallen angels to really get the new world order. They want the new world order. That's why they're installing 5G network. And countries like Trinidad, they already have the 5G network, but the 5G network is not upstream yet. In order for the 5G network to be fully optional or fully operational, they have to first boot it in America. So 5G has to begin in America, all right? And once 5G begin in America, then they will interconnect. I teach you all that already in my last lives, right? That's the reason why now people have video recording, white vans and different unmarked vehicles using that I was telling you all, the people who installing the 5G network or who installing the 5G towers, they are not locals. You all need to understand this. So when the government talk about locking down this and locking down that, you can't be outside because you're not seeing what plane going on land in the airport. So while everybody think that no planes are running, there are planes running, yes. But the people who are working in the airport is people who they trust, who will not talk, people who they brainwash, people who they brainwash and they bribe that they will not speak and say when a plane coming in and when a plane not coming in. All right. I saw an article last year. Well, people took videos last year around this time. Right? In Trinidad, there was a plane come from Russia, land in the airport. Nobody knew about it. One pilot. A pilot saw it, and a pilot recorded it. And the pilot who recorded, right? The pilot who recorded the Russian American ship, a plane, the Russian plane that landed in Piaco Airport in Trinidad. The person who recorded that, they found the person who recorded that video and fired them. Yes, folks. The person who recorded that video is fired, right? And could face jail time if they ever do a recording like that again. So behind closed doors, people have no idea why things are the way how it is right now. Yeah, they had New York lockdown right now. Yeah. And why they're locking down everybody? You have the army force coming out in the numbers. You have the police coming out in the numbers. You have even the fire service. What? Now, let me ask you a question. What does the fire service have to do with COVID-19? Absolutely nothing. Right? Right. Now, I heard also too in Trinidad that they have a quarantine center where they send all the people for quarantine. Listen to me carefully. Some place in Trinidad called Balandra. Some place called Toko. It was all over Facebook. It was actually all over the web. Everybody saw it from the different countries. Everybody know exactly what's going on. But some people are afraid to speak out. All right. Some people are afraid to speak out because they're afraid of being called stupid and they're afraid of racist comments or being called a conspiracist. All right. But I don't care what they call me. They can call me whatever you want to call me. I'm telling you all the truth. And I know most of you will laugh at me, most of you will take me serious or whatever and whatever. So be it. But when the time comes for you to be exterminated, you will remember the words that I speak on this particular day. You'll remember every word because it will come to you. It will come to you like a flash. It will hit you like a bomb. You understand? So the measures that they are being put in place is not a normal measure, guys. the measure that they put in place to quarantine everybody and everybody quarantine. You see, the way how they have everything seems as if normal. Nothing is not normal, folks. People like I and you who are awakened, who fully awaken and understand who are our enemies, why they're doing certain things, we specifically know why. And perhaps the government ministers, some of these government ministers, they don't even know what they're putting themselves into. They don't even know why they have to execute certain rules or certain policy. They don't know why they are being forced to push themselves into this agenda. That is because the higher heads, the principalities and the powers in high places, who are they? The principalities, and we are not fighting against flesh and blood. Alright, you listen to me, we are not fighting against flesh and blood. And there's a scripture that Christians like to talk about. They like to sing and they like to talk about. We are not fighting against flesh and blood, but principality. You don't even know who principalities and powers are. You don't even know why are we not fighting against flesh and blood? Because flesh and blood have no power against the spirit ones. The ones who are in darkness, the ones who are hidden. Alright? The flesh and alright. We are not fighting against flesh and blood. This particular verse or this particular scripture could be broken down in a million pieces for you all to understand why this is happening. And as I also said already, the Europe government didn't put nothing in place to really push this agenda, because Europe and all these different places, Slovenia, Croatia, all these places, they wasn't going to push this agenda. They're not up to it. As you can see, certain countries is not in the UN, they're not a part of the UN, because the UN is a complete agenda. Let me go down a little deeper in the rabbit hole. If you read Psalms 1, everybody go to Psalms 1. If you go to Psalms 1 and you read Psalms 1, right? If you read Psalms 1 speaks about the counsel of the ungodly. The counsel of the ungodly, right? We should not sit with them. We should not sit with them. We should not agree with them. We should not sup with them. We should not eat with them. We shouldn't agree with any agenda or anything that they plan, because we know specifically what they have planned against us. So we should not support the agenda. But if you read Psalms 1 speaks of the counsel of the ungodly. The counsel of the ungodly is the UN, together with the Red Cross. They all pretend as though that they care about humanity. They pretend like they care about humanity, and they don't really care about humanity. They are the ones who really put in all these restrictions in place. But as I say, there's a higher power at stake here. There's a higher authority right now working. These policies that are being put in place is a higher authority. So it's not really Lucifer, right? The counsel of the ungodly, yes, but there's a other higher ranking fallen angel named Azazel. I didn't want to talk about him, but Azazel, yes, he's not a brother, because he will take your life at an instant. He don't care about you. He don't care about your children. He don't care what you give to the system. This fallen angel, this fallen archangel called Azazel. If you read the book of Enoch exposed all the fallen angels, not really all, but some. All right, Azazel is a high-ranking fallen archangel, right? And he is ruthless. Means that he don't business about your life or what you sacrifice to the government or what you sacrifice for the system. This whole system was governed under Lucifer, right? But Lucifer stole the dream of Azazel and put it into place. As you can see, the whole music industry falling apart. You ain't seen that, right? If you're not blinded, then you will see what I'm talking about. The music industry is falling apart because Azazel don't deal with music, right? He has no time to deal with music. He does deal with war. We're talking about a war. We're talking about a serious warring angel here called Azazel. Alright? And he is the top man right about now. And he is the one that Donald Trump worshipped, the beast. Right? Obama worships Lucifer. Right? Obama worships Lucifer. Obama is the Antichrist. Right? Now, Donald Trump, now I'm breaking this down for you all. Donald Trump is the beast in Revelation. Pope Francis is the false prophet. All right? Now, this should all line up in a way where you could understand why they're killing so much people in Italy. So, let me just bring back to your recollection here. A few weeks ago, Pope Francis taken with a cold-like, with a flu-like, I should say, a flu-like symptom. All right? And everybody was thinking it was coronavirus. As people stupid now. Humanity dotish. They're stupid. All right? So everybody was saying Pope Francis have corona. Pope Francis catch corona, blah, blah, blah. Why will, let's think about it. I will keep explaining to you all. Why will Pope Francis, who have power, who have money, who have authority over the earth, don't have a vaccine to defeat coronavirus? Tell me, you all have to be freaking dotish. You all have to be stupid not to see the agenda here. Those who are in power will never allow their agenda to kill them or their agenda to affect them. They always have an antidote, right? I saw you watch plenty movie and you saw different countries have antidotes and all this kind of thing. Right? Different country, leaders like the UK, the UK with Elizabeth and them, right? As we speak right about now, fellow brothers and sisters, as we speak right about now, comrades, as we speak right about now, the palace in England is completely shut. Let me repeat. Now, this will ever happen. The last pandemic that happened 100 years ago with the cholera and all these different things, they didn't shut down. Yes, they did not shut down the palace. The palace didn't shut down then. Come on, they didn't shut down the palace because of a pandemic. Why they shut down the palace because of a pandemic? They have no time for that. Now, this brings us to why they kill Princess Diana. Why did they kill Princess Diana? Because Princess Diana had intel, high-class intel. Like how I giving you intel. Ah, boy. The intel that I giving you, they don't want the public to know about it. The only reason why they're not really studying anything I say, because they know you're stupid. They know the public dotish. They know they're already brainwashed. And they know that they could do them wherever they want, and they do not have power to fight them. So they're going along with whatever agenda, and they are powerless against the fallen ones. But anyhow, Princess Diana had real top high-class intellect or intel on the UK government. She has top high-class intel on the UK government. She knows specific things that you all didn't know, but you all will never know. But I already explained certain things. I didn't go into details because you all wouldn't understand certain things that I always had to break it down for people to understand. And where you will understand, you will have an understanding of what I am specifically referring to right now. Right? But Princess Diana was killed. She was killed by who? The Queen of England. Who killed her? Prince Harry. Who killed her? Prince Harry and Elizabeth. They conspire to shut she up because she is human. They are not human. Let me say it again. Who conspired to kill Princess Diana? Right? Why Princess Diana died in a crash? They lied and told us that Princess Diana died in a crash. Princess Diana never died in a crash. Even the police officer, if you look at the documentary, even the police officer who gave the intel and say, oh, yes, she died in a plane crash, and he didn't want to come out and say he was afraid of the Queen and blah, blah, blah. That is just half of the story. But the truth is, she never died in no car crash. Let me be honest, right? The driver of the car, the person who was driving the car at the time, right? The person who was driving the car at the time had a different agenda. What they did was they poisoned she, right? They poisoned Princess Diana, and then they badly beat her body, badly beat her body. They poisoned she, They beat she body so much that when they was burying Princess Diana, right? When they was burying Princess Diana, nobody was allowed to see her face. Go back and look. Please go back and look at any documentary. And nobody was not allowed. The casket didn't open either. That is the reason why her son, right? What's his name? What's his son name again? whatever he called himself. And her son is against they're against the Queen of England because he get intel from somebody lower in the palace that, hey, the Queen and Prince Harry kill his mother. And not only that, the father, the husband of Princess Diana, conspire against his own wife. He conspire against she, right? Because remember, the elites always try to keep their bloodline on top. Listen to me. They don't want their bloodline to die out like how humans killing out one another, No, like how a black man killing a black man, a white man killing a white man, or a black man kill a white man kill a black man, or a black man kill a Chinese or whatever. Right? They don't business about that, You see their bloodline? You see the 13 bloodlines, which are not going in today. But you see the 13 elite bloodlines, they make sure and preserve that every generation. Every generation that comes, they preserve their bloodline. Humans don't preserve one shit. They don't preserve nothing. Although we were taught that Christopher Columbus, and we taught about this black man, what's his name, Nelson Mandela. We were taught that Nelson Mandela was a hero. But the truth is, Nelson Mandela sell out Africa. Right? It's on paper. It's documented, folks. Nelson Mandela sell out Africa. Africa was sold. That's like how the Prime Minister sell out Trinidad, or the Prime Minister or the President of the Philippines sell out the Philippines already. And then coming on and then doing live broadcast now. And then they're lying through their teeth with one word, and then they say, COVID-19 is nothing but a flu, but we know we need to think this, and we need to do this, and we need to do that. And the next tongue, don't panic. So wait, you telling citizens, don't worry, it's just a flu-like symptoms and it's mild. And then with the next tongue now, with the same mouth, you're lying and saying don't panic. That is not right. That means that they actually want to follow the script. And it means because of the human nature, because of as they being human, they have to follow suit the other agenda. It's like one part is human and one part is control. The human part wants to control the script, the scripted part that they give them. They give them a script. They give each government ministers, and in every country on the earth who are part of the UN, United Nations, they were given scripts, right? And these scripts is not to be published by the media, not to be published on the net, is not to be published anyway. These scripts that they give them is like scrolls. Let me tell you something. These scripts that they gave them is like scrolls, and they have to memorize these scripts. So you have to now the scripts that I'm telling you all that they're working with is not a script on paper where anybody can get a hand of it. They don't want nobody to know about this agenda. So the scripts that they give them, it's something that they have to remember. So they have to take it, memorize it. I have to memorize the scripts over and over to make sure that when they're doing a live broadcast, that the human side of them don't snap in, bam, and next thing they're talking something contrary. Or the mouth might slip and bam, they're talking about the New World Order. They can't do that. They will jeopardize themselves and they will jeopardize the nation. A matter of fact, they'll jeopardize their family, their loved ones. The ones who they love, they will go after them and kill them. The enemies. Right? So these government leaders, they are controlled by a higher power, by a higher authority. All right? So this is the purpose and the reason why the governments around the earth, they all follow in one agenda. If you open your eyes and you understand what's going on, folks, if you open your eyes and you understand, you say, but wait now, this government shut down, this government shut down, this government, the whole Caribbean shut down, and now we have Cuban scientists together with Cuban doctors. Listen to me carefully. Now we have Cuban scientists and Cuban doctors now heading to Italy to pretend that they're going to control the spread of COVID-19, right? We know what they're going for. They're going to exaggerate or exterminate the other 20% of people because they need help, right? They need help. Remember, they have a certain time frame. They have a certain time frame to get everything under order. If that time frame passes and they don't get everything under order, then you will order fail. So remember my prophecies. Remember how my prophecies are. Remember how the divine prophecies are. They're going according to Elohim's timeline, not Gregorian timeline. They're not doing nothing. So as you can see, Elohim does everything within our timeline, within our calendar, within our heavenly calendar, that is. And the timekeeper will be putting out the calendar for next month soon. So we will have an update of the dates and the time. But as I explained to you all a few weeks ago, of the countdown, the 10 days countdown, as you could see, if your eyes are spiritually awakened, you could see with your own eyes that during these 10 days of countdown, as you could see, a lot of things has escalated. Right now, they're pushing actors. Right now, remember, if you remember the last pandemic with Ebola and all this kind of thing, the ones that had like people in the music industry came out and say, well, yeah, we have a Ebola. People came out and say, yeah, they catch Ebola, blah 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 blah. They came out and said that they catch it then. But if you awaken to understand a lot more deeper here, then you will understand that they're using actors. They're using actors now to fool the public, right? Now they run out of options, because as I tell you all already, this agenda needs to be achieved by September the 23rd or before that, by July or somewhere around there. Now, this agenda is it's not even shocking. It shouldn't shock you, because you should know that this agenda ties in with the elections that are happening in the Caribbean. Election in Guyana, election in Trinidad and Tobago, election in Barbados, election in Grenada. Yes, this year, guys, this agenda, this COVID-19 agenda, ties in with the election. This is an election year for the Caribbean islands. An election year for Donald Trump. This is an election year, guys. As you can see already, what's going on in Guyana. I don't need to read and spell what's going on in Guyana. If your eyes are awakened, then you will understand why these things are happening. This is a political agenda motivated by your enemies. All right. Or your prime minister might say with his own mouth, no, I don't really care about no election. I'm making it very clear, and bold that COVID-19 is of much importance to the government, and all we care about is all we the government care about is the health and safety of citizens of whatever country. All right, that's all we care about. You say he don't really care, or she said that she don't really care. Even the Barbados president, the Barbados prime minister, stuff like that. Even Cayman Islands came out and said that all we care about is to contain the spread of COVID-19, and citizens must understand that this is for their benefit and blah blah blah. But the real truth about this, guys, is that this specifically have nothing to do with this. This have absolutely nothing at all to do with this. This have nothing to do with it, guys. This have nothing absolutely to do with COVID-19. This have to do with the agenda. But the thing is, since this pandemic tied in with the election, the government or the government who presently in administration, the government who presently running the rule or running the country, that government will never step down. Mark my words. You want to mark my words? Mark it down in a book. Mark it down in a diary. Mark everything I say down, so that when it's going to happen, you will know the date and the time that I announce it, and I tell you that it will happen. But as of right now, the government ministers who are already in power, they are not going to step down. The opposition is working together with the government now in order for this agenda to go forward, because the opposition have already been given power, or the opposition is already working together with the government. We are all being fools. We are all fools, and they laugh at us behind closed doors when they're knocking glass, when they're together in in their convention, when they're together in their conference, and there's no media personnel on site or whatever, they by talking everybody. They by talking you, they by talking the child in your belly, they by talking your womb, they by talking everything. They're talking about everything, how they could exterminate you as a human being, because this is what they want. You remember, in order to control a population of 38 billion people, about 38 billion people, in order to control a world population of 38 billion people, that is impossible. All right? It is impossible to control 38 billion people, because some people will rebel and some people will not rebel. Some people will go along with the agenda and some people will not go along with the agenda. Some people will buy guns and go after their enemies, and some people will not revert to that. Some people will wait on the Lord to come, and the Lord will never come for them out. So yeah, guys, so this is the real agenda behind COVID-19. All right? This is the real agenda. And let me just step in a little deeper. Now, I know I was talking about Bitcoin, and I kind of switch off to explain different things. But Bitcoin ties in with the new agenda. Now, this is the reason why they want to done away with paper money. Now, some people think that the ministers, or whatever, the Ministry of National Security spoke to the citizens, and they said, the reason why we changing from paper notes to polymer notes is because we're trying to done away with the trying to, I can't remember the exact words, but if you listen to the interviews of different ministers around the earth speaking, you can hear it's a fork tongue that they have, right? It's a snake tongue that they have, because there are a lot of snakes in government. Don't think that these snakes are for you. They only there in power to benefit themselves, to benefit their family, and to benefit their friends who supported them. That's all. They will protect their friends who protect them. They will protect their family members because that is their blood. But you who are not part of their family, whether you're black or you're white, they don't care about you. You think Donald Trump care about citizens in America? I don't think Christians in America are opening their eyes to realize, right? I don't think they're realizing why Donald Trump is stepping down so much, and Donald Trump now sending National Guard to patrol the streets all in New York, all in Ohio, all them different places. Now you actually seeing that. It's too late, because now that you all supported this agenda, and you say, yes, the government should lock down the borders, yes, the government should do this, yes, the government should do that, yes, we should stop spread COVID-19, we should stop doing this, because the China already pushed the agenda already. Instill fear in your life. You're afraid to die from COVID-19. But what you fail to understand is that your creator, or your creator's Elohim, is your salvation. Only if you seek them, they will protect you from COVID-19. They will protect you from cholera and all these other diseases that these fuckers invented to kill us out, but it didn't work, because Elohim protected us. Elohim divinely protected us. Therefore, our immune system got a boost. We get over the virus, we get over the COVID, because Elohim is the creator, and they being the creators of heaven and the earth, they being creators of this earth, this world, by the way. They already put things in place already to boost, or they already put different push or different things that we could use in order to boost our immune system, right? So when people run into the pharmacy and talking about, let me buy vitamin C boost, you're just making the pharmacy rich. And when people talking about, let me use hand sanitizer and use face mask. Now with the face mask agenda too, we all need to understand, face mask is not being created in the average of the Caribbean, or face mask is not being created in a country. Face mask is being created in China. And if and if COVID-19 started in China, you really trust to wear a mask that made in China? I want to know. I would really like to know. Will you, the citizens of whatever country you are, whether you are Greece, Albania, whether you are right about Slovenia, whether you are Croatia, wherever you are right now, right? will look, I just talk about Cayman Islands. I just talk about Cayman Islands, 4.3 earthquake in Cayman Islands. Just talk about Cayman. You see how important it is to listen to me? Very good. But anyhow, as I was saying already, now I'm asking you all, if something is made in China, why are you being forced to buy it? Therefore, if anything comes from China, then it is poison, right? You shouldn't trust to buy produced on China because you can't trust China. You can't trust China. No, what I'm saying is, right, I have a lot of people from China sometimes doesn't listen to me on and off. The people in China is not the one to blame for this pandemic, you know. What is so-called pandemic is your enemies. The Chinese government is no other government than you think. You know? You think that the Chinese government is just like the government of Trinidad? No. The Chinese government is different from the government in the Philippines. The Chinese government is different from the European government. The Chinese government is different from India government. The Chinese government is different because they are leaders. The Chinese government is the one, they are one of the leaders in technology, right? So they being the leaders in technology, they are the ones who invented, they are the ones who help other people who are in Israel, and they came up with the 5G network, the 5G technology, and they were able to test it. You remember before I showed you all a video a couple of days ago together with a post, and I specifically speak about T-Mobile, B-Mobile, and all these different phone companies that right now pushing the 5G network. But I want to tell the public that there's something even greater than 5G coming. It's called 7G. 7G is the fastest in the world, and besides 7G being the fastest in the world, 7G have a lot to it have a lot to do with the zombified agenda. Well, I know I talked to you all about the zombified agenda, and some of you might not understand what is the zombified agenda. The specific zombified agenda that I'm specific relating to you all right now, specific explaining to you all right now. The 5G will be able to zombify you. It means that you'll be able to be controlled totally. Every part of your body, every vein, everything will be able to completely be controlled. All right? So this is one of the reasons why the reason why they push in 5G. 5G is another upgrade from 4G. Remember, before all these different generation of interconnection, as I said already too, we were taught that satellites in space is what gives us internet, or what gives us these different things that the lion told us. But the truth is, they're running underwater cables. Some people will laugh at me, but they are like thick, like, I mean, real thick cables. Now some people might say, well, I absolutely don't know what you're talking about, because this is not even on YouTube. You can't find it on YouTube. You might find some videos. Some people might talk about it, because some people might have a understanding of what I'm talking about, or what I spoke about a couple of years ago. That's why people were able to get these deep hidden information, because I revealed it first. So they have these fat, thick cables that running under the ocean. There are cables there. Don't think, right? Don't think I'm lying to you. I'm not lying to you. But under the ocean, there are some fat cable. All right. ABBA once did an earthquake. ABBA did an earthquake in, I think, some part of the Atlantic Ocean. ABBA did an earthquake, and the cable snap. Right. The cable break. So that's why people wasn't able to get connection. Although, right, people wasn't able to get interconnection, or people wasn't able to get internet or phone, or all these things went down, because the lions say, oh, we have another problem, or the lions say, we having a breakdown, and we working on restoring service. Right. That is because ABBA did an earthquake, and the cable snap in the ocean. And once the cable snap in the ocean, they have to send out engineers now to sort out that cable. All right, and once they send engineers to sort out that cable and to make sure everything upstream, now the engineers now will have to call England The engineers. You actually think England has so much power that they will not have everything in their hands? You actually think that the Queen don't have a kill switch? Of course, people, of course, them in England who have power, of course, them have a kill switch. You know what's a kill switch? I mean, they mean that any country or any nation that goes against England or their policies, any country that go against any country, any nation, any prime minister, whoever, that goes against the policy of England, their lights could be turned off. Their telephone service could be turned off. Their internet could be turned off. Their water could be turned off because England have power. Now some people might say, well, we're talking about England have power. England have power. And England here and this country in Philippines here and this country here and this country here. England have power to switch off your electricity. England have power to take off your electricity. England have power to switch off your internet. England have power to switch off your water. Because if they want everybody to have no water, all they have to do is call up. All they have to do is call a shot in England. I want this water to shut down in this town. I want the electricity to shut down in this town. But because they don't want people to know who they are, but this is our end time agenda, by the way. Very soon, as I'm telling you already, in order to stop the spread of awareness of righteousness, in order to stop the spread of truth that is being pushed out, truth that the other whistleblowers is awakening people to understand certain things, they will have to shut down the internet. And when they shut down the internet means that they will have no communication with phone, all these things will go down. And then they will blame it on some pandemic. Then they will say, we have no reason, we have no reason to understand why all is happening. And then they will blame it on a comet, and then they will say because electromagnetic around it, so they say something electrical in the sky affecting electricity, affecting the phone. That is all lies. To hide the agenda that they are the ones who had the kill switch. Right? NASA is just pawns, guys. NASA is just there to deceive you. Oh yes, they're going up in space and blah blah blah. Oh, you see the bouncing in the spaceship, and everybody thinks, because we were conditioned, we were programmed to believe that NASA leaves the earth, but nobody can leave the earth. Right? If I could have leave this world, I go on a long time, I swear. If I could have leave this earth, I go on a long time. Nobody could leave the earth. That is the reason why when they use a rocket, they shoot a rocket up in the sky, the rocket will hit the glass dome and bounce back, or the rocket will make a whole semicircle. Instead of the rocket going up, high up, the rocket will just hit the dome, because the way how the dome was created, the way how the glass ceiling was created, it was created in a certain way so that the sun will be not too close to the glass, right? And the purpose and the reason why we are actually certain places, like a whole place has sun and the next place to have no sun, or the only reason why Abba was able to divide night and day is using the glass, right? Because Abba used the glass ceiling, he brought the sun a little closer, and then because half the way how the glass dome was made, if you look at my drawings, and these are in fine drawings, it's like I'm drawing half of the ceiling of the glass, right? It is joined together, so one half will be night and one half will be day. I explained that a couple of years ago, but that is giving you all an idea, that's giving you all a lot more understanding of how powerful Elohim really is, because right now you can see sun and on different parts of the earth it's becoming day, it's becoming daylight or becoming night, or wherever you are right about now. But as I say right now, half of the world right now will be night and half of the world will be day. The part that is already night, right, they already went through their cycle of daylight. The part that is daylight went through the cycle of the night. All right, but what will happen when the sun die? What will happen when the sun die is that there will be no daylight. That means that there will be no night. There will be no light in the daylight. It means that the sky will remain dark. And the only reason why people who see in sunlight right now, if you look up in the sky, you see blue skies. You see how the sky looking blue, right? That is because the light from the sun that is bouncing to the glass dome is giving light to the rest of the earth. to the half of the earth that Abba already sectioned out to receive light. So certain part of the earth will receive light, and certain part of the earth will not receive light. This has nothing to do with the sun a million miles away. If the sun was a million miles away, you actually believe we would have bright sun, right? No. And if Abba really want to burn up the earth, if Abba really want to scorch the earth, or you really want to patch the earth, and this is the reason why we were having all these atmospheric tsunamis, and all these atmospheric tsunamis was happening, all these things were happening. It was to bring saturation yet, but a deeper saturation is when Abba bring the sun, because he is the creator. So Abba bring the sun a little closer to the earth, and that is what patch it. You know, it's called patch. It's called patch because the water already passed through the earth. The water already passed through. I explained that a couple of weeks ago. The water already passed through under the earth because the atmospheric tsunamis and the water that is sent down, it went down in the vein. Everything have a vein. We have a vein. We have a lot of veins running through our hand. We have a lot of veins running through our head. You know, if anything goes wrong with any vein in our body, we get pain or something, or we get an allergical problem or something like that. That is because of the way how this system, the way how Abba create the immune system is the same way how we create the earth, and it's the same way how the earth will receive water, go through in the vein, and then then the water now that go through in the vein, there's a process, and once that process is achieved, then the soil from on top. Right now, if you take your foot, if you're living close to wherever you're living right now, I'm not asking you to do it, but if wherever you live right now, and you just take your foot and you just put it on the ground, right? Now, although the sun might be hot or it might be night, you can still feel heat coming up from the earth, right? You still feel heat coming up from the earth. So the heat is right now coming up from the earth, right? The sun hot or whether it's night or day, the heat still coming up from the earth because of the saturation that has been done. Let me say a saturation has been done a couple of days. Let me say you get 5 days straight of rain, or let me say you get a whole year worth of rain in one day. Yes, one day. Places like Mozambique and all these different places who get one month full of rain, or 1 day month, or 3 months full of rain in one day, 6 months full of rain, and I'm explaining that to you all. So these places are receiving 1 year full of rain. That is a saturation, guys. When that water go down, right? That water goes down to the crust, and it cools the latter crust of the earth, because the latter crust of the earth, some people don't know, but it's a lava running through the earth, right? Or they might know, but the way how the creator created the earth, and as I said already, I was there when he was creating the earth, so I know what I'm talking about. Scientists don't even know what I'm talking about, because they will be baffled by the things I know. Because things I know, they don't know nothing. Right? And scientists only know what the Illuminati want them to know, what the secret society want them to know, what the elites want them to know. But you see special in-depth things, they don't know nothing about it. Scientists are only called scientists because they are controlled, they are puppets, and they have to say exactly what the elites want them to say, exactly what the fallen angels want them to say. But other than that, I am telling you all, it have lava running through the earth, right? So there's a lava stream under the earth, all right? This is the reason why Abba have to cool that lava. The lava that running through the earth have to cool, and the purpose of that lava too is to keep the earth firm so that it do not move. It can't move left, it can't move right, and the purpose of that is because is a interlay of lava and soil. So the lava is running in between. I already did a teaching on this already. The lava is running in between. In between is the lava, and in between the lava that is running, it's a soil compact from it. It's a three layers. It has 3 different layers, but it actually have 12 layers, which is called the 12 shelves. I think it's the 12 shelves. I can't remember right now, but I teach you all about that a couple of years ago. Some people might remember, but it's called the shelves. I think it's 7 shelves or 12 shelves. These shelves is what keeps the earth firm. These shelves keep the earth firm from moving left or moving right. Only when they execute an earthquake, you will feel it. All right? You will feel it when they execute an earthquake, because they know exactly where to execute an earthquake. Where they execute an earthquake is where will be the epicenter. Where they execute an earthquake will be the epicenter, and that is where they will be able to compact and really shake that place good, in order to open a crack, or in order to do destructions. So the public is not aware of this, but I'm telling you all now that you all should record everything I'm saying. Record it, download it, write it down in a book, write it down in a diary, wherever. But right, so you already need to specifically do that. So once you all do that, you all need to understand specifically what I'm saying. So the purpose of these earthquakes, as you can see, there's an uptick, right? There's an uptick in earthquakes happening here, there, and everywhere. And COVID-19 take over the TV. You've been not hearing about the earthquake that happened in Croatia. The earthquake that happened in Croatia, you ain't hear it on new. You're not even hearing about the earthquakes that happened in Croatia, because they're keeping it a secret, and they're not letting the public know. All they want you to focus on is COVID-19, be in fear. But what about the Creator? What about His judgment? What about what's really happening right now on the earth? All right. What about all the earthquakes that are happening? Who is the one executing these earthquakes? The Creator. The Creator sent down 700 angels, and these 700 angels is what is executing the earthquakes everywhere on the earth. These angels have specific assignments. They have specific places that they will crack. They have specific places that they will break. Specific places that have to shake. They have certain assignments planned beforehand, and they're working with a map. So not to say everything just working out just like that. These what I'm talking about, right? These what I'm talking about, they actually specifically, they're working with a map. They have an ancient map. They have the flat earth map, right? You see the flat earth society, guys? You see the flat earth society, right? The people who say there's a flat earth society, blah blah blah, they flat it. The map that these 700 angels working with is a flat earth map. But the map that they're working with is nothing compare. It's nothing like the map is nothing like what the flat earth people drawing and what they thinking that the New World Order using. No. The already UN. A lot of you all who are flat earthers, you see the UN using something like a logo, like a flat earth. That's just part of the piece of the pie, because they want to control the whole flat earth. They want to control the whole agenda, but obviously it's not them specifically running the whole show. We're talking about the Illuminati. We're talking about the fallen angels, right? No, as I'm explaining to you all here right about now, these angels is working with a map, and they have to work with a map, because they're not working with the NASA spinning ball map. They're not working with the NASA spinning ball map. They're working with which map they're working with? Right, they're working with a flat earth map, but not a flat earth map that you think it is. You might think is the flat earth map that all the flat earthers using, but the map that the flat earthers using is no different to the map that the UN using. Right, so you see, flat earthers are still caught up in the agenda of the Illuminati, knowingly and unknowingly. Right, so I will say flat earthers do not know nothing, and they do not know the agenda. Right, who's the one really pushing the flat earth agenda? Now I know about the flat earth. I know about it some years ago. I've been announcing about flat earth, but the same people who talking about flat earth today is the same people who are against me some years ago. So. So you see, the truth reveals itself in time. It doesn't specifically happen when you expect it to happen, or when it should be, or when you think it should happen. It will happen in time. So a lot of people tell me, bro, how the sun hot, earthquake going to happen? Not necessary. The purpose of why the sun hot, I explained that already. The kind of sun we get right now. These days, the sun that we get these days is terrible sun. That is because the Creator brought the sun closer to the earth in order to get his work achieved before the New World Order start. the Creator brought the sun closer to the earth. So right now the sun is closer to the earth. That's why you will feel it more hot. If he push the sun a little closer to the glass ceiling, if they push, sometimes you see like sometimes you see like a rainbow around the sun, all these different things, right? This has to do with the glass dome. It had to do with the glass ceiling, by the way. All right, the glass ceiling reflects what is on the outside or what is on the inside. So according to how we position the sun, we were told that the earth does move. The earth don't move. I said that the earth is stationary. It don't move left or don't move right unless if they execute an earthquake. When they execute an earthquake, the earth will move. It means that the way how they're breaking it apart, because how they break it apart, the way how they're shaking it left to right, and some people will say they feel an earthquake for 10 minutes, 10 seconds. That's because the Abba is not in a hurry to bring judgment, but he had to do it. So that's the reason why people doesn't feel earthquakes for 2 hours. 2 hours they're still shaking. No, they will feel an earthquake maybe for a second or two, or might feel it for 2-3 seconds. That's because these angels are told, here, you need to start here. So we need to break here. So once they break point A, they have to now skip out B and then have to go to C. I explained that already 1,000 million times. So just to explain to the others who might want to understand what's going on. Right? So now what I'm saying, and specifically explaining to you all right about now, I just explaining to you all a little in depth in the rabbit hole to explain why NASA will come out and say, no, we don't go to the moon, we don't go here, we don't get it. They cannot leave. Nobody can leave the glass dome. The glass ceiling, we live in a closed system. It's a closed system. A closed system specifically means that it have no way you could escape from this glass dome, right? Because this glass dome is sealed. It is sealed with ice. It is sealed with soil, right? So remember, around the earth around the whole earth, around the whole flat earth, there's a ice shelf, right? This ice shelf is 100 feet high. Was 100 feet high. Not 100 feet. Let me say not 100 feet, but I would say maybe about 700 feet because of the 7 shelves. Alright. The ice shelf that surrounds the earth. The ice shelf that surrounds the earth. A lot of it melt out. Like, let me say 95, 96. I'll say about 97%. I'll break it down to about 97. The ice around the earth, 97% of the ice has melted. As we have been told only about Antarctica, but there are other places around the earth that have ice that haven't melted yet. So that's the reason why Abbadiel is still able to do snows and all these different things. Well, I already explained that in a million trillion times already. Just to explain to you all how snow, not even scientists can explain to the public. Not even scientists can explain to the public where snow coming from, how snow does create. They don't know. You ever hear scientists say where snow coming from? Or they will tell you, yes, schedule for snow to come from. Have a scientist ever told you all, ever told you all where snow does come from? How hail does we make? No, they don't know. They don't know. Alright? So this is why I'm excited to tell you all, and I keep telling you all over and over and over. Alright? So snow and ice come from the same ice shelf. Right? It's been transported by the Creator. That's like how the Creator transform rain in a cloud and put it in a gas form, and then when it reaches a certain place, then he's the Creator. He knows specifically how he put things in place. We were lied and told that the elites could control the weather, which is a lie. I mean, come on, the Creator. He's the Creator. Yahuwah is the Creator. Yahuwah will give the enemy power to control the weather? No way. Maybe if he did give them power, maybe it was a certain season. Maybe a certain season he give them a little authority to control the weather and to know specific, or to do predictions for Sena. I honestly think that is what was happening. Right? I think that was happening before. I specifically think Abba give them a certain season and say, okay, do what I have to do. And Abba lay off and had them maybe, I don't know, well, you know what I mean now. A lot of people say how they use, I I can't remember anything right about now. They use I can't remember the name right now, but they use something called seedling, and they were able to produce rain and all these different things. I don't think that information really truly accurate per se, but I believe that they once in a time they had power to control the weather, but not control the weather to push for lightning and all these different things. Lightning comes from the creator. They cannot create lightning. All right. What they could do is do something like an electrical charge or whatever, using the glass ceiling. Yes. Because the elites, they know specific things, the fallen angels know specific things. And to know that when they were cast out of heaven, they were cast out without power. Yeah. So that specifically mean that these people now, right? The elite shadow government, that I telling you all about right about now. This elite shadow government, they had power. They had power, and they still have the power. They still have power to control certain things, but not the weather, right? Now, we were told that aliens used to live on the moon and all this kind of nonsense. That was untruth, all right? It's the fallen angels, because the fallen angels is the ones that you can't see, as I said already, and the fallen angels is the one that moves in the ship. So you ever heard about, you ever hear the saying about aliens this and alien that? All right, so you all ever hear that? You all ever heard about you all ever heard about aliens before? If you ever heard about aliens before and you were told about aliens, you were told that aliens is good bodies and they come to and they want to save Earth and blah blah blah. All as an agenda. Aliens are demons, right? From young age they condition our mind to believe in nonsense, to believe that aliens come to save Earth and all this kind of thing. But that is kind of untruth. That is simply untruth. That is untruth, guys. Right? That is untruth. Right? So alien never came here to help us. They didn't come here to seek our refuge or anything. They came to deceive us. Now the ones who are in the alien suit, you won't believe what I'm about to tell you. The ones who are in the alien suit is responsible for all them coffins you see there. Alright? All them coffins that you see line up there. All them coffins you see line up there in Italy. All them coffins you see line up there in Italy. The ones who are responsible for killing all these people, right? Who did it in China, and who did it in Italy, who would do it in Trinidad, who would do it in the Caribbean islands, is not mere human beings that have a heart to kill their own kind. Alright? We're talking about heartless creatures, heartless beings. Alright? The same alien, the same ones who we were taught, they even show us about the They even show us about the Martian. Ever watch the Martian? If you ever watch a cartoon called the Martian, they were programming us from a young to accept the fallen ones. Alright? Now, note that we can't see the fallen angels, but they have a suit that they use this suit. You all ever saw Casper the Friendly Ghost? Alright. If you're growing up in my time, when you're growing up in your time, and you ever saw Casper the Friendly Ghost, they brought up Hollywood brought out a lot of movie depicting the agenda, but we didn't see that then. We were busy trying to distract ourselves in watching ghost movies and all these different things, and not taking up the true agenda here. The agenda here is that in Casper the Friendly Ghost, Casper was given an hour or something to transform into a human being, and after a certain time, same thing happened with Cinderella, when Cinderella had a certain time to get back home, and then after she leaves, she glass shoe behind. All these things programming, guys, programming our mind to believe in fictional things, not in holy things, not in heavenly things, not in things that will bring us true wisdom, true knowledge, true understanding. Those are not things that they bring into our forefront so that we could understand more in depth of why they're showing cartoons and all these different things. So as I was explaining already about Casper and the Friendly Ghost, and then they brought another movie called Ghost. Right? This guy This guy did love this woman called Molly. I can remember the show. I don't know if you all remember the show. I just want to refresh your minds now. If it wasn't my time, you will understand, or you'll remember this movie now, right? It's this movie called Ghost, right? Or it's called The Ghost, or whatever. I think that is not the full name of the movie, but I think the movie name is Ghost or something like that. With this movie now, we have this girl called Molly, and this guy, he did real love Molly, boy. Wow, he did real love Molly. And what happened to him? He got a stroke. He was working. He wasn't taking care of himself, and he was pushing business for this big, huge paper company. And when this company now, and when this company was, and when this company was able to make so money, he ended up taking it all, and it bothered him, it stressed him out, and bam, he ended up dying. And when he ended up dying now, he ended up becoming a spirit. He ended up becoming a ghost, right? Now, a ghost is a spirit, by the way, if you don't know. Anyhow, but he ended up becoming a spirit, and when he become a spirit now, he couldn't touch himself, he couldn't feel himself, but he thought he could like touch, ornaments or touch anything now. If you all remember that my movie, right? And Molly now, he talked to Molly in she ears and tell Molly, it's me, Molly, it's me. But Molly was totally freaked out. You see, the moral of the story is that
11 minutes ago.
They're showing us things on TV and thinking that when the time comes that they'll be able to deceive us with the exact thing. You see, before the enemies or before the elites, before they bring, as I was explaining to you all day, before they bring any agenda, before they do any specific things, Hollywood does process it. Once it goes through Hollywood, then you will know exactly. Like this movie called Contagion. There's a movie called Contagion that came out in 2013. They even brought out a movie called Coronavirus. Yeah, it's about a movie called Coronavirus too. Look it up. Google it. Go on YouTube. Look for the Coronavirus movie that came out in 2013. It have everything to do with washing your hands and all them kind of fuckery. Wash your hands. Put on a glove. This. Put on face mask. Make sure you wash your hand. And the main actors who behind it is people who pushing the agenda today. So that movie was in 2013 and now it's 2020 and they come with a fucking pandemic again, right? And now everything that was on the movie, everything that was being reacted on the movie, or everything that was on the script with the movie is the same thing that who pushing? Wash your hands, wash your mouth, this, make sure you keep surfaces clean. That's all they're fucking saying about this. But the thing is, this wasn't a movie. So if we sit down and watch this movie a zillion times, and we say, wow, this movie real good, this actor Wesley Snipes, or this actor these actors coming out now with the agenda. The same actors who acted in Coronavirus movie, or the same actor that acted in a movie called what is the name of the movie by Conjure or whatever. The same actors acting in a movie, the same actors that pushing the agenda, right? One of the news reporters who pushed the agenda of Contagion. One of the actors who pushed the agenda for the pandemic, the coronavirus pandemic in 2013. Yeah, 2013, when we were all dotish and stupid. They push out that movie, and we thinking, hey, we want to go and see that movie in cinema, They bring out a movie called Pandemic. They bring out a movie called 13 Plagues. They bring out a movie this. They bring out a movie that. We wanted to go and watch that movie, right? So this actually brings us now to the way the world is right about now. Cinemas shut down, all this. They have nothing else again they have nothing again to deceive us with. They run out of option. Right? They run out of options. They completely run out of options right now. right? Because normally, let's say not in a pandemic, let me bring out a movie. They bring out a movie to condition your mind. So they bring out a movie now to condition your mind to accept the reality of the agenda. So at the time when they push it now, you maybe about 30-something years or 40-something years, and they push that movie, let me say they push that movie about 50-something years ago, let me say they push that movie about 13 or 25 years ago, you see that movie, right? You already programmed, you watch it already, you have it already in your subconsciousness, right? So that movie now, that movie already in your head, that movie already in your subconsciousness, right? So when they push out the agenda now, if you understand what I mean, when they push out the agenda, right, you already programmed by that movie to do exactly as that movie say, right? And when you rethink and you say, but wait, now, I see this movie already, you know, this movie called Contagion, this movie called Pandemic, this movie called Mega Earthquake in Taiwan, or Mega Earthquake here, or Pandemic in Wuhan. You already saw that movie already. You saw that movie when you was 5 years old. If you saw that movie when you was 2 years old, you sit down with your granny or your great grandfather who passed away years ago now. You sit down with them and you watch that movie on whatever station. You watch that movie with them, right? But Elohim will bring back to your recollection. Elohim bring back to your recollection that, hey, you know, you see this movie already, you know. So don't be fooled. This is it. But wait now. Wash your hands on. But wait now, this is not a movie. I didn't see this in a movie before. I didn't see this in a movie. Yes, you see it in a movie. Everything that they're portraying right about now, the same fucking agenda, the same thing. You watch a movie with Contagion. It might have different actors. You know, you have the coordinator or the editor, whoever of who. World Health Organization now is a black man, but before it was a white woman. Yeah, when you watch on the movie, the movie called Pandemic, search it on YouTube. You watch the movie called Pandemic, you watch the movie called Coronavirus from China. You watch these movies and you see who are the actors on the movie, and then you see who are the news station pushing the agenda. You see CNN and Fox News. But with the ask, so CNN and Fox News on a movie, and them is the same people who you're believing in. If them can act out a whole movie, normal, so you think they can act out a whole agenda, normal, well, this is exactly what's going on. People buying the same shit. So it's like we're watching a movie here, right? It's like a movie is unfolding before us. So it's like a movie unfolding before us right about now. So this is exactly what is going on right about now. So yeah, brothers and sisters, I'd like to say thank you for everybody who watched today's live, and I really pray that it bless your heart. I pray that you'll be able to share this live far and wide, wherever far you can reach it. But don't be a slave to the New World Order. Do not vaccinate. Do not, I repeat, do not vaccinate. Do not take the 6-in-1 vaccination, and do not believe in these fucking actors and them who acting out this whole movie that you watched already when you was younger. Do not believe in the New World Order. Do not believe that the government care about you, because they do not care about you. The government ministers do not care about you. They do not give a fuck about you, your family, your loved ones. They do not care. All they care about is getting their piece of money when that time comes. So thank you, brothers and sisters, again for watching this live. I really hope that you take notes, write down in diary, wherever you can write it down, because every word that I speak today will manifest. It will manifest. Whether the enemies like it or not, whether they try to push their agenda, or they try to have others hate me for speaking this or talking this.
But somebody promising more police car. Somebody going to take the country far. Somebody putting all the bandits away. He said, if they do the crime, they're going to damn well pay. But somebody promising a human rights, while somebody threatening to put out your lights. The Montreal full with little Trinidad boys. A bullet start to whine and put an end to the joy. Now they're lying cold for their mama to mourn. The Nike
I hear a madman born as he spread out on a wall. He said, this is it, this is it, this is it, I've been hit. No time to give up, brother, no time to quit. Was the chant of a madman with the scale from a strange land. Maybe the chant of the madman is the only salvation. I say the chant of a madman in the scale from a strange land. Maybe the chant of the madman, Lord, is the only salvation. Anyway, you turn somebody chanting to we, but for we and we go set you free. Somebody promising natural law, die like a yogi, end all the war, seek inner peace, end all the pain. The same woman promising to go down again. Somebody promising to run all the bread. Somebody pushing a world-class head. Somebody clean out the weed well fast, but somebody letting the cocaine pass. Somebody promised to abolish the tax. Somebody promised to kill with the tax. Somebody promised to clean up the land, but in this clean land, rats still killing man. We bright little youths going to waste. Somebody lynch the smile on the face. Somebody take one love off the shelf. Then the one love boys that to sell out themselves. Somebody going to end all this talk about race, but they can't tell me that with a straight face. Big men dying, the kind can't solve. A madman rant is my only resolve. I hear the madman ball as he lie on a wall. He said, this is it, this is it, this is it, I've been hit. But no time to give up, brother, no time to quit. A chant of a madman in the scale from a strange land. It was a chant of a madman in the scale from a strange land. Maybe the chant of the madman is the only salvation.
This song is dedicated to all my sons and daughters through the four corners of the earth. My daughters, to you I plead, watch, don't get no horrors, but please take heed. I know you don't want no sermon, but my admonition is to guard you against all the evils of life that create strife and destroy life. Cautiously, children, be alert, because you have an enemy that's roaming the earth. I know you're young and restless, That's why I tell you this. Watch out, my children. Watch out, my children. It have a fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder. And he don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. Now we sing it again. Watch out, my children. Watch out, my children. It have a fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder. And he don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. I give you my counsel because I want to see all you young people live righteously. What you feed your mind with forms your characteristics and shape the path that you must walk tomorrow. Darkness or glow, joy or sorrow, that's why I'm concerned. So watch out, my children. Watch out, my children. Yeah, yeah. It have a fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder. And he don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human race. To all my sons and daughters in Germany, pass out, meine Kinder. Pass out, meine Kinder. Da ist jemand, der heißt Lucifer, hat eine Schule mit weißem Puder. Aber will dein Gesicht nicht pudern, denn bringt den Menschen nur Schlechtes. Oh, you're young and your future is ahead of you. Right or wrong, sweet or sour, depends on what you do. Taking the wrong direction will drain your constitution and promote mental chaos and confusion. Then corruption to gain a man, and that is not God's plan. Cuidado, mis hijos, to my Spanish children. Cuidado, mis hijos. Hay un hombre que se llama Lucifer con una bolsa de polvo blanco, y él no quiere formar tu cara, pero para traer pena y desgracia para la raza humana. To my French children. Attention, mes enfants.
Attention mes enfants.
Attention, mes enfants.
Attention mes enfants.
Il y a quelqu'un appelé
Lucifer avec un sachet de poudre blanche. Il ne veut pas poudrer vos visages, mais apporter honte et détresse à la race humaine.
To my East Indian children, dekho mere bacha logo, dekho mere bacha logo. एक इंसान जैसा शैतान है उसका पास है टाइलर पाउडर का, और दूसरों को पाउडर नहीं लगाता है. मनुष्यता का नाम पर ये एक बदनुमा दबा है. Watch out, my children. Watch out, my children. It have a fella called Lucifer with a bag of white powder, and he don't want to powder your face, but to bring shame and disgrace to the human